Stadium on a cool and damp night in San Jose, California. The rain falling, 59 degrees as we approach kickoff in this whack battle between Hawaii and San Jose State. Good evening, everybody, and welcome. I'm Sean McDonough. Delighted to have you with us as tonight we get our first look on national television this season at Hawaii, the only team from a non-BCS conference ranked in the top 25 in the polls this week. But they have a lot of skeptics, in large part because they have not played a very difficult schedule to date. In fact, their strength of schedule ranks last in major college football. 2 of their 6 victims so far, Division I AA teams. But that changes starting tonight with half their regular season schedule still to go. 6 difficult games left, including a battle against San Jose State, a team that won 9 games and a bowl game last year and come into this one having won 3 in a row. The star for Hawaii is Colt Brennan, the quarterback who finished 6th in the Heisman balloting last year, trying to perhaps get his name back toward the front of this year's Heisman Trophy talk. But he's been playing lately with an injured ankle. And with more on that, here's Rob Stone.
Sean, he re-aggravated that right ankle in last Saturday's game. Essentially, he really didn't play the entire second half. Talked to him and his trainers and his head coach, June Jones, today. Said that ankle is as good as it's been since he injured it. The other factor going in today is the weather. Just a very light drizzle right now, but the Doppler radar saying heavier rain coming our way. And this field is already used by the men's and women's soccer team here. Divots already all over this field here in warm-up. So I talked to June Jones about that. He said this actually is going to help the offense. No big deal because the receivers know when and where they're making their cuts. As long as the quarterback can handle the snap, he's going to be okay. And remember this, guys, the run and shoot offense, it originated in Portland, Oregon. They wouldn't have started it in rainy Portland, Oregon if it couldn't handle the elements.
All right, Rob, thank you as usual. You soccer people causing problems wherever you go, and perhaps some problems, Chris Spielman. For Colt Brennan tonight, the gimpy ankle, perhaps still an issue. We'll find out, and the wet conditions.
Yeah, we'll see him, but I'm anxious to see Colt. I had a chance on Wednesday night to watch the film and really break him down. The thing that's impressive about him is his quick release. It comes out of there in a hurry. Also his accuracy, completing 70% of his passes. And you would think that would be because of the routes, but they're short routes, yes, he's accurate. Intermediate routes, he's accurate, and yes, he's accurate on the deep routes.
And accurate describes his opposite number, Adam Tafralis, the quarterback for San Jose State. His team started out 0-3 against a very tough schedule, but they've won their last 3, and in each of those wins, Tafralis has passed for over 300 yards.
Well, when they're 0-3, somebody has to carry on the winning attitude. Remember, this team won 9 games last year, and it's that guy right there, Adam Tafralis. By his performance and production, not only is he accurate with the football, he can throw the deep ball, but he's a tough guy. And guess what? People don't think he can run. Off the film, this kid can run and knock some people down.
Lots of implications tonight. National polls, the WAC standings, and the Heisman Trophy race as San Jose State hosts Hawaii tonight here in the Bay Area.
Let's turn it up a notch. Let's turn it up a notch. Precious song.
Hey,
let's turn it
championship game right here. Let's go. I'll tell you on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Let's turn it up a notch.
Honda EU Series generators are perfect for hardcore tailgaters. They provide reliable power for all sorts of things, and they're incredibly quiet.
I got this one.
Which neighbors really appreciate. Honda generators.
Bring it.
This garage floor looks beautiful. Epoxy shield, right?
Yeah.
It looks like a professional did it.
Oh no. He's home.
Scott, Liz, you really don't have to stare at my garage floor every day. You can do it yourself. I did. It's easy.
Do it right the first time and create the ultimate garage floor with Rust-Oleum Epoxy Shield, America's best-selling premium garage floor coating.
Hey, can you hit the button?
Welcome back to ESPN's College Football Prime Time. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in high definition and presented by Pioneer Curo HD TV. Hawaii comes to San Jose State riding a 7-game winning streak. Third longest in the country. Part of their menu, trying to extend that winning streak. Part of our broadcast menu tonight, Colt Brennan. How legitimate a Heisman Trophy candidate is he right now? Chris Fowler will join us on the telephone to talk about that. The BCS rankings get released for the first time in a couple of days, and we'll preview that. And a chance for you to participate in an eBay auction. We're home here in the Silicon Valley, home of eBay. And we'll have some fun and help the V Foundation tonight with our own eBay auction. June Jones, the winningest head coach in Hawaii history. 9th season as head coach. They won 11 games last year. They won 11-3. Overall, they've won 16 of their last 17. San Jose State, dressed in the home blue and gold under Dick Tomey, won the toss and will receive. Dick, a former Hawaii head coach. As a matter of fact, June Jones passed Dick Tomey's record for Hawaii coaching victories. And he's done a terrific job here at San Jose. 3 wins in his first season, 9 last year, and 3-3 here in year 3. Dominique Hunsucker runs back the kickoff. And San Jose State with excellent field position. He'll begin near the 40-yard line. The lineup's brought to you by Monster.com, and San Jose introduced by one of their all-time greats, Jeff Garcia.
Thanks, Sean. And now for the Spartan offense. It all starts with the big guy behind center, quarterback Adam Pefralis. 44 career touchdown passes. Every good QB knows that it starts with the boys up front, and they're the key to staying upright. Keep an eye on our right tackle, number 69, John Booker, 6'4", 335 pounds, and one of our team captains. That's bigger than you, Spielman, or at least when you were playing.
Absolutely, he's bigger than me. Hopefully he's bigger than me.
Pefralis might have been over the line of scrimmage when he flipped that ahead. For now, it's going to stand for about a 15-yard gain. And the officials are talking about it as they spot the ball at the 49-yard line of Hawaii. Jacob French caught it. And Pefralis' career numbers in terms of that completion percentage on the way up. A couple of years ago, a 49% passer. But last year, he was up over 65%. And this season, 68%, including 73% during this 3-game winning streak. An empty backfield. Dick Tomey, the coach, used to coach for Bo Schembechler. He said somewhere Bo must be looking down and groaning when he sees my team line up with an empty backfield. And Adams' pass incomplete.
Adam Leonard right there coming with the pressure. And when you watch Hawaii's defense tonight, you'll see them bring a lot of pressure and take chances. Why? Because they believe in their offense and scoring so much. Where defensive coordinator Greg McMackin says, why not take a shot? Because we'll get it back.
These are two teams that do it almost exclusively through the air. They're each in the bottom 6 in the country in rush offense. Pefralis, big, strong athlete, gets collared. That would have been a penalty in the NFL, but not here in college football. David Vaikune made the tackle, but it's a first down after a gain of 11. Let's meet the Hawaii defense, introduced by our own Chris Berman.
Let's look at the Warriors defense. A guy who brings the rush off the end. He's the second leading sacker for the Warriors. That's number 12, Carl Noah. Linebackers, the fellow in the middle is the leading tackler. He's got a great name for Scrabble. Keep your eye on the young man from Los Angeles, number 17, Solomon Elamimian. And our defensive backfield, the corner is a really fine player, number 3, Myron Newberry. He's from Denton, Texas. As a matter of fact, 3 of the 4 starting DBs are from Texas. 1 is from Oahu.
All right, Chris, thank you. Of course, Chris has a home in the Hawaiian Islands, follows Warrior football closely. Talili Muku in on the tackle on the quick throw to David Richmond, which resulted in a loss back to the 41-yard line, a loss of 3. At San Jose State on the move. The opening possession of the football game, 1st and 10 at the Hawaii 41-yard line.
This is the biggest test as far as athletes go for Hawaii as far as defending people.
In the empty backfield. And Tefralis throws in the coverage. It's picked off, ricocheted off his intended receiver, and was intercepted by Adam Leonard, who's run 2 interceptions back for touchdowns this season. And he brought that one all the way back to the 35-yard line of the Spartans. 28 yards on the interception return by the junior from Seattle, Washington.
It's a good job right here of Elamimian coming on a read route, breaking on the ball, and Adam Leonard closing on the ball with pursuit, is able to catch a tip drill, turns in a nice little fullback right here. Look at the big fella rumble and stumble on his way down, protecting the ball as French tried to strip it.
That's a pressure defense designed to create turnovers, and they did, as Tefralis had his pass intended for Kyle Flynn picked off. The Warriors have returned 4 interceptions for touchdowns this year. 2 of those by Leonard. He was thinking about doing it again. Quick pass and a catch on the far sideline to Jason Rivers. Their ex-receiver lines up with regularity on the left for Colt Brennan, the senior from Irvine, California. Started his collegiate career at Colorado, then to Saddleback Junior College here in California. Now in his 3rd year as the starter at the University of Hawaii, where he has set 21 NCAA records. And they should be right at home with the rainbow over Spartan Stadium. 8-yard gain on the completion of Jason Rivers. Spartans showing blitz, and they come after Brennan. He's hard to get to as he gets rid of it very quickly. And he has Ryan Grice-Mullens for a first down out of bounds at the 19. Here's Chris Berman with the Hawaii offense.
Aloha, fellas. Great to be with you on a Friday night. Where else could I wear a shirt like this on national television? Because we get to watch the Warriors and their offense headed by quarterback Colt Brennan. By the time his senior year is up, he may have so many NCAA records. As far as their offensive line goes, 2 guys from California, 1 from Oahu, 2 from Pango Pango. Warriors offense is no ka'oi, as we say in the islands, the best.
And John Estes, the center, might be the best offensive lineman they've had at Hawaii under June Jones, according to the head coach. Rivers the catch. They try to swing him down and do across the boundary far side in the arms of Dwight Lowry, one of the stars of the San Jose State defense, introduced by Jeff Garcia.
Our defense will have their hands full with the potent Hawaii offense, but we have won 10 of our last 11 games at home. Let's start on the D-line. Watch sophomore Justin Willis at defensive tackle. The strength of the defense, a group of linebackers led by Captain Matt Costello in the middle. And in the secondary, a shutdown corner, number 25, Dwight Lowry, a first-team All-American last season and 2 picks this year. Take it away, Spillman.
I'm going to take it away. They better start putting a little bit more pressure man-to-man wise on the Hawaii defenders, or they'll burn them all night.
Whistles before the snap. Brennan took a hit as he threw the ball. Justin Cole coming off the corner apparently did not hear the whistle in time to avoid hitting Brennan.
Prior to the snap, false start, 84, offense, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
That's exactly
George leading our WAC officiating crew.
That's exactly what San Jose State did that time, as they came out and played man-to-man. When you get down in here in the red zone, you do have 10 yards in the back line of the end zone as the extra defender. You have to take your shots and match up with them once in a while, or they'll pick you to death underneath.
Hawaii, the leading scoring offense in the country at over 53 points per game. They've scored at least 45 in every game this year against that weak schedule. Brennan throws it right on target, and it's dropped. Should have been a touchdown to Rivers, but he couldn't hang on. We've seen already the extraordinary accuracy numbers for Colt Brennan. Coach Jones said if you include balls last year that should have been caught, that were perfectly thrown and just dropped like that one, his completion percentage last year would have been 82%.
And you can see why right there. And that's a touchdown. And the thing is the ball's delivered before Rivers is out of his cut. You can't ask for a better opportunity. Rivers normally will come down with that. Colt Brennan's accuracy extends beyond the 10-yard marker. He's accurate from all over the field at any distance.
Only Texas Tech has been more prolific with the passing attack this year than Hawaii's 451 per game. Brennan all day to throw with that 3-quarter delivery on target for a first down. On 3rd and 12, they convert as the play goes to Devon Bess. At the 6-yard line, it's a homecoming for Bess. He's from just up the road in the Bay Area from Oakland, California. 15 yards and a first down.
When I look at Colt Brennan's delivery, you see that it's that short little 3-quarter quick delivery a la Dan Marino and Jeff George. Both of them had that same quick delivery, and it's tough for defenders to get a good break on that ball because the ball's out so quick, you can't read his arm angle.
His receivers told us that Brennan does such a great job of knowing the routes, anticipating their movements. The ball is always in a very easy place to catch it. Brennan under duress, almost picked off and dropped. Christopher Owens, a part of one of the best cornerback tandems in the country alongside Dwight Lowry, had a great opportunity for his 4th pick of the year. Brennan was accurate that time, right to number 29 in blue.
That's where Christopher has to go up with his hands. He tried to body catch it, bounced off his shoulder pads. And on Colt's side, what he has to do is go ahead and throw that one away. You live to fight another down and tried to force it in there. Almost too much confidence in his arms. Plus, Riggler stopped his route.
2nd and goal from the 6. Brennan 4 out of 6 to start the game. He's also a very good runner. They run the option for a touchdown. Pitched it to Keatoa Polaris, the true freshman. And a rare run mixed in by June Jones. And Hawaii is first on the board. They survived the near interception and lead 6-0. Less than 4 minutes in.
Well, you know Colt Brennan's not going to run if he doesn't have to. But part of the deal, if you're going to run the option, is get good perimeter blocking downfield. Ryan Grice-Mullens had the block that sprung. Polaris for 6.
Extra point up and good from Dan Kelly, who's perfect in PATs this year. And it's already 7-0 in favor of Colt Brennan, June Jones, and Hawaii. Well, of course, we're here in Silicon Valley, home of some prominent high-tech companies like Apple, Google, Yahoo, Intel. I read a big article in the paper today about how much money is flowing through this area with the success lately of Google, but also eBay. And we thought we'd have some fun tonight with eBay, our own eBay auction to benefit the D Foundation. Each of the 3 of us on the air tonight, Chris, Rob Stone, and myself, signed a football, which we have put up for bid on eBay. We already, without even mentioning this, have bids at ebay.com/Friday Night Football. Little, ego competition for us, I guess. You played 11 years in the NFL, so I will be stunned if your ball does not bring in the most money for the V Foundation tonight.
But you're Sean McDonough and all the fans in Boston and the whole Northeast. You're certainly going to have guys to bid. Rob will have all the soccer people bidding high on his. I'm going to make sure that I personalize mine, though, to the winner. And I can sign it either Ohio State or the NFL number or whatever they want. So that mine's going to be worth a little bit more than these guys because it will be personalized.
Well, any of us can personalize that. I think all of us might have to resort to your kind of bribery before the night is over. Dominic Hunsucker runs back the kickoff to the 29. Let's let Rob Stone weigh in on that, Stoner.
Oh, I get to weigh in after you take how many shots at my sport, soccer, already? We had 2?
Not enough.
And we've had, what, each team's had
That's
1
more
drive?
goals than we had in the game you did last night.
All right, touche. I think the bidding started at $50 per ball, which frankly is already out of the league for many of my relatives and friends. So I'm eyeballing the bronze medal in this little eBay charity auction here thing, but I may have some options to up the price. I'm just saying, just stay tight. I may have something here to spruce up my autograph football a little bit.
All right, shovel pass to Jacob French, former walk-on. Took it from Tafralis and went to the 33-yard line. K.O. Monty made the tackle, 4-yard gain.
The only thing I got out of that is Rob is not a hat guy, obviously.
You don't like his hat?
No, well, he's just not a hat guy. Some guys are hat guys. Rob is not a hat guy.
Well, I would say this. If the power goes on in the stadium tonight, we'll all follow Stoner out of here in his very fluorescent pastel outfit. Put that on eBay.
Pastel's big in the soccer world.
Yeah, just like goal scoring. Movement along the defensive front, but the Warriors get back. Again, another empty backfield in a bunch formation. 4 receivers to the right. And Tafralis not on target. Threw it a little bit ahead of Kevin Jurovich. This is an all-new receiver group for San Jose State. this year. They returned 9 catches among their wide receiver core from last year's team. They had 2 terrific receivers, James Jones and John Broussard, who've gone on to the NFL. We saw Jones have a tough night for Green Bay on Sunday Night Football, 2 costly fumbles in their loss to the Bears. But he's had a very good rookie year, and Broussard playing for the Jaguars.
And reading an article today that Jones is still a favorite target of Hall of Fame quarterback Brett Favre. Can't lose confidence in him. Too much ability.
5 receivers again. Empty backfield and a completion. Kyle Flynn hangs on this time. He had the ball ricochet off his hands for the interception thrown by Tafralis that set up the Hawaii score. This time it's 12 yards and a first down. Solomon Elamimian in on the stop on Flynn, a junior from Torrance, California, junior college transfer.
Flynn had a double clutch that one, Sean. He almost dropped that one, but you can tell he was happy for his team and himself for making up for the drop ball that led to the interception. The wet ball seems to be bothering Tafralis more than it's bothered Brennan so far this evening.
Dick Tomey, who cut his teeth by the side of Bo Schembechler. Featuring almost exclusively empty backfields tonight, and that pass from Tafralis not particularly accurate. Off the hands of Jurovich with Leonard in coverage. Dick Tomey, 69 years old now, and he's in the top 10 all-time in wins in both the WAC and the Pac-10 with his 10 great seasons at Hawaii, 14 solid years at Arizona, and 4th all-time in wins among active coaches. Only Joe Paterno, Bobby Bowden, and Mac Brown have more wins at the top level of college football than Dick Tomey's 173.
Well, and you look at Coach Tomey, the thing I love about him, 69 years old as he mentioned, but he has such energy. You can see why the kids love him and respond to him.
Another shovel pass inside, and Jacob French slipped down after crossing midfield at the Hawaii 48-yard line. There is a flag on the play. Of course, in all 3 places Dick has coached, he has taken over programs that were down and built programs.
Illegal motion on the offense. Number 11, 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Kyle Flynn's penalty will wipe out an 8-yard gain. Dick said, I like building programs. I've never had the chance to coach at a place like USC where they have the great history and tradition. But he said, I like building, and I like nice places to live. That's why we loved Hawaii, we love Tucson, and he thinks this South Bay area, San Jose, California, is a wonderful place for he and his wife Nancy and their family.
I think it's awesome that a coach is that honest and say, yeah, I'm going to coach, but I'm not going to sacrifice what I want to live and where I want to live. And for him to be that honest and upright and forthright, that's refreshing.
And he was honest that he got this turned around quicker than he thought he could. 9 wins in their second year. He thought there was no way that was possible a year ago. Tafralis was under pressure in his pass. It was intended for Jalal Beecham. Beechman couldn't catch it. And it'll be 3rd down and long. Blaise Soares was putting pressure on Tafralis. This was a program, San Jose State, that had had 6 straight losing seasons prior to last year, and last year they went to the New Mexico Bowl, their first bowl game in 16 years. They beat the Lobos of New Mexico in Albuquerque in that bowl game.
It's about winning culture and winning attitude and getting over that hump. It's more than just physical ability.
On a little bubble screen on 3rd down and 15, and Jurovich won't get anywhere near the first down marker. Got it to the 48-yard line of the Spartans. A 6-win improvement last year for San Jose State was 2nd best in the country. Only Wake Forest, +7 in victories last year as compared to the prior year, was more improved than Dick Tomey's team.
Well, again, and they look at the conference as their season after dropping the first 3. But in order for them to hang with Hawaii tonight, when they have a chance to make an interception, make an interception. When you have a 10-yard running play on a shovel pass, don't get a penalty. Those are the things that are going to kill San Jose if they don't get them straightened out as the game progresses.
Booming punt by one of the best in the country. Waylon Prather boomed it into the back of the end zone. That was about 60 yards in the air. Officially a 52-yard punt with a net of 32. 8.5 to go. First quarter. 7-0 Brennan and the Rainbow War.
Why would rebuild an SUV with magnesium paddle shifters and a 30-gig music and navigation system?
This is your vacation house?
Because for a limited time, get 1.9% APR on the 2007 Mitsubishi Outlander.
Buffalo Wild Wings. You have to be here.
There are many ifs in your family's life. If your kids can go onward and upward no matter what. If you get sidelined from work. Ensuring your family's ifs can be hard to figure out. So MetLife removed the guesswork. By packaging the insurances families need most, term life and disability, we've created a comfortable safety net that's filled with promises and bursting with guarantees for the if in life. Call for this surprisingly affordable insurance package from MetLife.
And welcome back to college football prime time on this Friday night from San Jose, California. Not far from the headquarters of eBay tonight, our own eBay online auction to benefit the V Foundation. All three of us have autographed the football, and you can take part in the bidding at ebay.com/Friday Night Football. No surprise that Chris Spielman, his wife Stephanie, apparently has bid up to $1,525 for his ball. I mean, it should be that way.
Well, you got to start throwing other things in there, including the ball.
Just one of my financially comfortable and charitably minded friends would weigh in. It would be appreciated. Brennan dodges the rush and throws incomplete. Intended for Jason Rivers. Jonathan Harris had the coverage.
So the thing about Colt Brennan we talk about is his ability to run the football. He's got that ankle. I watched him right there. He has good pocket presence, which is important for the next level as it is this level. And when he steps up into the pocket, he doesn't look at the rush, which is a good thing. His eyes stay downfield on his intended targets.
From Southern California, out of Mater Dei High School. For a while, he backed up Matt Leinert. On 2nd and 10, throwing the deep ball, trying to stretch the defense, and outstanding coverage as Christopher Owens was stride for stride with Jason Rivers, who's been slowed a bit by injuries. June Jones says Rivers will play in the NFL. How about how deep this receiving core is, Chris? The top four wide receivers all have at least 34 catches. They're each averaging at least 6 catches per game and 74 yards per game. And each of them has at least 4 touchdown receptions this year. That's all in 6 games.
And that's part of the system. I remember when June was with the Detroit Lions when I was playing up there. All our receivers had an equal amount of catches and equal opportunities.
7-0 Hawaii, 8:20 to go first quarter. And they try to surprise the Spartans with an inside handoff on 3rd down and 10. And Pilaris did not get the necessary yardage. Banged out of bounds by Christopher Owens. And the Warriors will punt.
Another guy that has to have a big game, and he was in on that tackle along with Owens, is Matt Costello. Led the nation in tackles last year with 165. So anytime there's any type of run or shovel pass inside, Matt Costello has got to be a factor in making a play, as he was there.
Tim Grasso's punt, handled by Dwight Lowry, has some running room along the near sideline. And brings it into Hawaii territory. And they want a late hit out of bounds on the San Jose State sideline as he got run out at the 42 by David Vekune. 40-yard punt, a 25-yard return.
Why did we give the new Eclipse a 263 horsepower MyVec V6? Because for a limited time, get a $2,000 factory rebate on the 2007 Mitsubishi Eclipse.
You want to trade? Break away from boring. Try the new breakaway baskets from Long John Silver's. Get 2 crab cakes stuffed with lobster or 2 pieces of chicken, each with fries and pups for $2.99. Only at Long John Silver's.
Do you have a dandruff shampoo to control curls?
Or for sensitive scalp?
One dandruff shampoo isn't right for everyone. Head & Shoulders has 9. So no matter what your hair type, you get 100% flake-free, healthy hair. Head & Shoulders.
Don't miss the Yamaha Y-Weight sales event going on now. Now get payments as low as $69 a month till 2010, plus up to $300 cash back.
It's probably nothing.
Weeks later, today.
The chase for the NASCAR Nextel Cup is on ABC. Coming off a gutsy win at Talladega, Jeff Gordon looks to hold back Jimmy Johnson and Tony Stewart under the lights at the Bank of America 500 at Charlotte. Tomorrow at 7 on ABC.
ESPN's College Football Primetime, brought to you by Mitsubishi Motors, driven to thrill, and ESPN Game Plan. See the most college football every Saturday. To order, call your pay-per-view provider.
San Jose State University, school of about 30,000, including a select group of 400 students that make up the animation and illustration department. Many of them have gone on to work at Disney, DreamWorks, Electronic Arts. And yesterday, senior Don Taw drew these caricatures of us. We got a lot of airtime tonight. Footballs on eBay, caricatures. And this is your.
Yeah.
This is Chris Spielman.
Look like Captain Chin.
And that's
Rob Stone there.
It kind of looks, as our audio technician Tuna suggested, like Ross Perot. That caricature. Juravich dropped by Adam Leonard for a loss on first down for San Jose State from the 42-yard line. I tell you what, I'm going to throw in my caricature. All right, actually, can I have your caricature to go with my football on eBay?
What?
I'll take my caricature and sign that and send it off as well. That ought to get $2 or $3 more for my football on eBay.
Well, I'll throw mine in too.
All right, we'll see. Now you're a copycat again.
Yes, sir. Get a win.
This is obviously a staple of their game plan tonight. Shovel pass to Jacob French. He goes to the 37-yard line of Hawaii. Dale Monte made the tackle. It'll be 3rd down and 5 for San Jose State.
And it's a good staple. So far, they've gotten positive yards when they haven't had illegal motion every time. And right there, Elamimian got driven out of there. Again, if you're the middle linebacker, you got to hold tough with that shovel pass. Even though the action's pass, you got to read the short set by the offensive lineman telling you, hold your ground, don't run anywhere.
And the flip inside again, and this time they were ready for French. No gain on the play, swarmed under by the middle of that defense. Michael Lafaeli made the tackle. Lafaeli back in action after battling a hamstring injury the last couple of weeks. He sat out last week to get ready for this ball game. 4th down upcoming and a timeout called by San Jose State.
They were. Shawnee Hawaii's defense did stop it, but French right there missed the cut. If he would have cut back to the right side, because the San Jose offensive linemen are doing a great job of getting up to the second level. Just because it didn't work there, I keep coming back to that play, because right now they're blocking it pretty darn well. It's just a misread by French.
4 receptions for Jacob French. College football continues tomorrow on ESPN and ESPN2. On ESPN2 at noon, number 18, Illinois. Resurgent under Ron Zook. Travels into Iowa City to take on the Hawkeyes, one of the biggest disappointments this year in college football. And on ESPN, 7:45 p.m., number 22, Auburn looks to exact revenge for last year's loss to Heisman hopeful Darren McFadden and the Arkansas Razorbacks. Part of that terrific backfield tandem in Fayetteville along with Felix Jones. Some think Felix should be a Heisman Trophy candidate himself.
Well, we know that Troy was really impressed with Felix Jones. The Troy Trojan defense thought highly of Felix.
It was interesting strategy by the Spartans. After a timeout, they decide to punt. Prather hung it high in the air, and the fair catch made by Myron Newberry. Let's check in with Reese Davis for a Sports Center 30 at 30 update.
All right, Sean, game 1 of the American League Championship Series, and the Red Sox have jumped all over CC Sabathia. They have a 5-1 lead as they play in the bottom of the 4th. The big hit coming in the 3rd inning, Mike Lowell with a bases-loaded ground rule double. News from the NHL and the Flyers. Jesse Boleries gets a 25-game suspension for his cross-check on Ryan Kessler's face of the Canucks. Sports Center coming up after the game. Stay current with ESPN News.
Mahalo, Reese. No surprise that baseball score from America's greatest city, Boston, Massachusetts. Red Sox on their way to the World Series title. Brennan's throw a little bit behind his intended receiver, Devon Bess, the junior from Oakland. A lot of friends and family in attendance here tonight. What a likable young man he is. We visited with him yesterday, and Coach Jones thinks he's going to have a great NFL future. He compared him to Andre Rison. Said if anything, he's a bigger, stronger Andre Rison. And there's some of Devon's family members here tonight.
I'll tell you, just watching him on film and looking at his build, he's powerfully built down low and really an excellent run after catch man. Once he gets his ball in his hand, he's gone.
Brennan's missed on his last 4 passes. The Spartans have defended him well. He's on target here for a big gainer. Ryan Grice-Mullens all the way across midfield and out of bounds in San Jose State territory. They'll mark it near the 47-yard line.
That's the difference between Colt Brennan and a lot of spread quarterbacks. A spread quarterback would run, but watch Grice-Mullens right here. Just bringing it across the field, recognizing man-to-man coverage. And Andrew Ryan is supposed to be the help inside. He has his eyes on the quarterback as opposed to the intended receiver. If he plays the intended receiver, this should be picked. And there you see Colt Brennan. Throw him open, Colt. Throw him open.
40-yard completion earned by Brennan. He's averaging 370 passing yards per game. His first chance in the national TV spotlight this season. Trying to enhance his Heisman Trophy candidacy. He says, and you can tell he means it, he's really only concerned about winning. Pass incomplete in the direction of Bess with Dwight Lowry in coverage. They have a chance, as Holt said yesterday when we visited with him, to do something that no Hawaii team has ever done, have a perfect season, get in a BCS bowl game. But in all likelihood, to get that bid into the BCS, which would require a ranking in the final BCS poll of a top 12 or better, or in the top 16 but ahead of a BCS conference champion, but they're going to have to win all their games.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And they're going to have a good showing. And the big game that we'll be at is the Boise game, too. So they got some competition to get through the WAC before they talk in BCS.
Well, they have 5 games left after tonight and only 1 more of them on the road. Of course, the travel is arduous when they come all the way over from Hawaii to the mainland. Procedure penalty here will back up the Warriors. But after tonight, 4 of the 5 at home, the only trip for an ESPN2 game in the cold of Reno for a Friday night game at Nevada against the Wolfpack. The tough home games, Fresno State, Boise State, and Washington, all solid or better opponents.
You know, talking to the kids and coaches yesterday, they realized that their schedule hasn't been the toughest, and they were really looking forward to playing tonight's game to kind of find out how good they really are.
Colt Brennan said, this is really the first opponent we feel like if we don't show up, they can beat us. They really haven't felt that way heading into any other game this year. Ryan Grice-Mullens the catch. Lowry the tackle at the 45-yard line. Of course, they almost lost at Louisiana Tech. They're 6-0. So when they went down to Ruston for their longest road trip of the year, they won in overtime. They needed a field goal with under 2 minutes to go to force overtime. They fell behind in that one 14-0 against Derek Dooley's team, and were fortunate to escape. So they have had a scare already.
Cole Brennan here, this is where he's counted on. This is where Heisman Trophy candidates, leaders, make plays. 3rd and 8, hostile territory.
Brennan forced to step up, and now he takes off. And he's a little bit short of the first down. It will depend on the mark. The official on the far sideline slipped down, so it'll be interesting to see if he lost his bearing trying to mark it. The umpire comes to his aid, but Brennan did not get the ball to our yellow line, that's for sure. And they'll mark it shy of it. It'll be 4th down and less than a yard. Aaron Gilbert credited with the tackle. One aspect of Brennan's game that Dick Tomey says is underrated is his ability as a rusher.
Right here, he knows he's got to get the first down. He's fighting and gouging for anything he can and showed no ill effects of the ankle, but the spot was lost. The umpire did a good job of following up, covering up for his buddy. That official needs to keep his feet underneath him. You're playing on wet turf, official. Small steps.
Hawaii leads 7-0. Just shy of 100 yards of total offense. 10.5 minutes into the game. They're 6 out of 10 this year on 4th down. Option look from Brennan. He has the first down. Holt's a solid 6'3", about 201 pounds.
Good read by Colt on the option. The defensive end came off. Aaron Gilbert comes off the play right here. Just enough to take the pitch, and Colt kind of gave a little fake and knew he only needed about a half a yard. Used that big, long, linear body to just lean forward and get it.
Quick toss. Ryan Grice-Mullens scampers out of bounds at the 31 after a pickup of 5. Hawaii leading 7-0 and on the move as we check in again with Rob Stone.
Well, Sean, just before that last pass, you're talking about Colt's measurements, and those were numbers that he was measured in the spring by the pro scouts, and that is certainly one of the questions that the NFL has about him is his size. He needs to bulk up. They say he kind of needs that extra layer of armor around him for the beating he'll take at the next level. Durability, some issues with him as well, certainly with the ankle that he's been dealing with, and we're going to get into what the NFL thinks about Colt Brennan and his future. But Chris, it only took you a couple plays to know that he's got Sunday material in him?
Well, I think he definitely has Sunday material in him. And I look at him right now. I don't know if he's a first rounder, but as the year goes on and people watch him and find him, he certainly has that ability to me. Right there.
On target, but it's broken up on a nice defensive play by Dominique Hunsucker. It was in the direction of Jason Rivers. And it'll be 3rd down and 5 for Hawaii. 4 minutes to go in the quarter, leading 7-0.
Sean, let me ask you a question. I don't know a quarterback that's big enough to take the pounding consistently by NFL defensive linemen. It's just not there. Any quarterback.
Well, he gets blitzed a lot. He doesn't get sacked much, but he takes a lot of hits right after he releases the ball. The Hawaii offense run and shoot with a lot of wide splits. They have talented offensive line to give them a lot of nice throwing lanes to work through. And good touch on that one, but just a stride too long for Devon Bess, who runs a 4.40. Now let's see what June Jones wants to do now on 4th down and 5.
That's called a switch route right there. The inside-outside receiver exchange patterns. They run takeoffs. It's designed to pick the defensive back. Executed perfectly by the wide receivers. Colt's got to make the throw. That's a throw that
penalty, is it not?
It is a borderline penalty, but I remember the vernacular from Detroit Lions with June Jones. That switch. I remember playing against that in practice all day long.
In field goal range for Kelly, who has a strong leg, but they're going to go for it on 4th and 5, which is a virtual short yardage situation in this offense. Brennan had trouble with the shotgun snap, and they'll turn it over on downs as the pitch hit the ground off the hands of Polaris.
When penetration can kill the option, as witnessed by Aaron Gilbert right there. First of all, it starts off with poor timing. The snap is behind. Colt has trouble handling it, but Aaron Gilbert shoots the end from the backside, forcing the bad pitch, and a big stop for the Spartans of San Jose State.
Defense has done a nice job. They've given Brennan a lot of different looks, and Hawaii has had a couple of moments of confusion.
Why would we put a sport-tuned suspension and magnesium paddle shifters on a Lancer?
Another lap?
Let's do it. Because the all-new rally-inspired Mitsubishi Lancer.
Remember that Monday when the Jets were down 23 and you thought it was over? But just as you walk out the front door, you heard everyone cheer? And when you tried to come back, the whole place booed you for leaving? And then the bartender joined in, so you had to watch the next 3 scores from outside? And when they finally won in overtime, you actually tried to high-five yourself. Remember that? Well, this Monday, when Eli Manning, Plaxico Burress, and the Giants D take on the Falcons, you may just want to wait until the fat lady sings.
At Chiroplan Hawaii, we're specialists in you.
You're the one.
You're the reason we're locally owned and managed.
You're the reason we have more than 60 clinics
statewide.
You're the reason our care is affordable.
You're the reason we care for you like family.
At Chiroplan Hawaii, we're specialists in you.
Football season means hard-hitting action, big plays, and loads of fun. It means getting together with friends and family to cheer on the team. This season, live the ultimate football experience with Sears. We've got everything you need to enjoy each game to the fullest. Have great at-home tailgate parties. Cook it up. Keep it cool. Watch it big. It's all right here at Sears. So huddle up at Sears and execute your game plan to get the ultimate football experience. Sears, where it begins.
Dwight Lowry and the San Jose State defense done a nice job so far against this potent Hawaii attack, leading the nation in scoring. The only touchdown by Colt Brennan and the Warriors set up by an interception return from the Hawaii defense. San Jose State has not established much rhythm on offense, going almost exclusively with the empty backfield. 5 wide receiver sets for Adam Tafralis. Eludes the rush and throws it ahead for about 7 to the tight end Brian Elledge, who was a defensive player at the beginning of the year. And they had some injury problems at tight end. He saw the numbers on defense weren't working in his favor for playing time. He went to the coaches and said, I'd like to be a tight end. And here he is, a key tight end on a team that's had a lot of injury problems. Their top 2, now the pass has been ruled incomplete after further contemplation by the officials. Their top 2 running backs have been out. Giannis Davis, 1,000-yard rusher last year, hurt on the first series of the season and has played very little since, and it's not sounding promising they're going to get him back anytime soon.
Well, this is only the second game where the same offensive line has started together, and that's crazy enough, but as you pointed out, 3 true freshmen, which is unheard of in college football in the WAC, starting as offensive linemen.
There's Giannis Davis. There's a high school teammate of Devon Bess. They played at Skyline High School in Oakland. Matter of fact, Bess, who had been a wide receiver, went to quarterback for his senior year at Skyline on an undefeated team. Frank Summers, who's an outstanding running back at UNLV, was also on that team. So they had a lot of offensive firepower with Bess leading the way.
Again, it's the unselfishness of players, and when you talk to them, you hear that unselfishness come out. You see June Jones wants an explanation of what's going on with the clock.
They already got the call in his favor. They wiped out the completion to Elledge. Jurovich went in motion, and Tafralis is sacked. Did well to get back near the line of scrimmage and then took an extra wallop from Elimimian for that effort. David Vikune leading the surge for the sack. They're 6th in the nation in sacks entering tonight's action at just under 4 per game. They had 22 sacks for the year under Greg McMackin, this attacking Hawaii defense.
And they play a lot of guys up on that defensive front. You saw Vikune right there hitting a nice little swim move where he slaps the inside shoulder, brings the outside over just like a freestyle stroke. A great move by him, and Elimimian comes in for the cleanup.
3rd down and 11 for Tafralis and the Spartans, trailing 7-0 here in the first quarter. Good throw, a good catch by Jacob French, and the first down to the 50-yard line on a gain of 14. Tafralis says, we know they're going to attack us, but if we're patient, we know we can get some big plays because they will come after us on defense. They will take chances. We have to capitalize when we catch them taking too much of a risk.
And there, right, the versatility of Jacob French, being able to split out and be a two-way performer on the offense. And in order for them to take their chances, Sean, they got to hold up on the pass rush. And that young offensive line is doing a great job, even though they had pressure last time, of protecting Adam Tafralis.
There's Greg McMackin, longtime defensive coordinator, both at the college level, and he spent some time in the NFL as well with Dennis Erickson, the Seahawks, San Francisco 49ers. Tafralis, and a good catch. Warriors saying no catch, but the official saying it is a catch for Beachman with Adam Leonard right on his hip. Greg McMackin was at Hawaii with June Jones in 1999, and they had one of their best defensive teams. Then he left to go to Texas Tech for a big money offer to work with Mike Leach. Greg McMackin said, my wife is very happy that we're back in Honolulu, and I'm going to stay now with June as long as they'll have me at Hawaii.
Well, I don't blame him. They have talent on this defense, and again, depth. That's the difference, where they keep fresh bodies on that defensive line coming after you.
He's done a great job with this defense. They're 27th in the country in total defense, and his defense rises up there. Adam Leonard making the play. Last year they were 93rd when Jerry Glanville led their defense. Now, of course, the head coach at Portland State. They were a 3-4 unit under Jerry Glanville. They've changed to a 4-3 because McMackin thinks they have the big personnel up front to fit this system.
And that's why they play 10 defensive linemen, because they do have that depth up front, which has allowed them, again, to bring fresh bodies. You can see a number of guys getting an opportunity to go get at them.
3rd down and 3. Tafralis flips it forward, improvising for a first down. Jamal Beachman again with Adam Leonard making the tackle. 6-yard gain.
And normally you don't see this but once a game, but Adam seems to be comfortable with the little shovel pass on a run. Plus great awareness not to cross the line of scrimmage. The pressure is coming from a 3-man pressure, but his eyes stay downfield. Right now he's looking to run, feels it closing, and does a little shot put. Not surprisingly, it's a shot put pass, Sean.
Yeah, his dad, for the stretch of about 7 years, one of the top shot putters in the world, Greg Tafralis, competed in 3 Olympics. And his son is a very strong man. Dad, for a while, was the world's strongest man. Won that competition. You know, a lot of us like say our dad, could beat up every other dad on the block. Well, Adam Tafralis could say my dad, Greg, is the strongest man in the world, benched over 700 pounds. And there he is. They say he's so excitable that he has to have a couple of adult beverages before the game just to calm him down. And they put a 9-year-old female cousin nearby, she's not there right now, to make sure that he's on his best behavior and doesn't get a little embarrassingly animated.
Yeah, and I look at the size of him, and he might be sitting on her or covering her up. He's a big man.
He is. Still works out. And says that his dad is quite a character. Quick hitter to Kevin Jurovich, who was a free safety last year. I think Mr. Tafralis just got the call, hey, you were just on TV.
Thelma threw that shot over 72 feet.
Yeah, in the top 10 in the world for 7 years.
Adam's an entrepreneur. He owns part of a local restaurant.
Yeah, along
with a chicken coop.
Tried to get us to go there last night for my birthday celebration.
Yeah, happy birthday, by the way.
But you would only spring for an ice cream cone.
End of a quarter here in San Jose, where Hawaii leads the Spartans 7-0.
Breeders' Cup World Championships begin October 26th on ESPN2.
Watch out, Fridays. This is one of those tucking in the napkin, ordering a drink before my jeans even hit the booth kind of nights. So let's jar my taste buds out of hibernation with something I've never tried before. Something with one or preferably more of the following adjectives: fire grilled, crusted, marinated, glazed. 3 courses totally up to me for just $12.99. Friday's 3-course menu is back, and so am I. Give me more Fridays.
So, what kind of financial help are you looking for? Maybe you need insurance to help protect you. Benefits to help your business reach new heights. Or a retirement plan to invest for the future. Then again, maybe there's someone who can help with all of those things. The Principal Financial Group will give you an edge.
Yesterday's history, just a nice memory.
I never think about yesterday. The only day that matters is today.
Start today with Gillette Fusion Power and the confidence you get from the world's closest, most comfortable shave. Turn it on. Soothing micropulses help you reduce friction. You'll barely feel the blades. Gillette Fusion Power. Be your best today. Gillette, the best a man can get.
At Hampton, we love having you here.
Where's Coach?
It's going to be windy today.
Do you have a license for that thing?
I think he took a night class.
Do you know Game Day? Go to collegegameday.com to find out. ESPN College Game Day, built by the Home Depot, Saturdays at 10 a.m.
These are 2 homegrown teams. Hawaii, about 75% of its roster, Polynesian players. And San Jose State with 98 of their 101 players in the program from the state of California. San Jose State with native son Adam Tefralis at the helm, on the move, but facing a 3rd down and 4 from the 31 of Hawaii, and the run straight ahead gets nothing. James T. Collier, the running back, coming off a big performance last week. 93 yards rushing. And they went against Idaho. It's the only game this year that they've rushed for over 100 yards as a team. Their first 5, they never got to 100 yards rushing, and they're probably not going to get there tonight, as they're barely trying to run the ball. That was just their 4th attempt for a total of 6 yards. So a field goal try here for Will Johnson, who's taken over as the place kicker. They've had field goal difficulties from Jared Strubeck, and Johnson is not an improvement. Strubeck given the hook when he missed his last 6 field goal attempts. Johnson has taken over, and he missed wide right from 47 yards.
Little trouble with the snap. Could have disrupted the timing of the kick. Looked like he had almost enough leg on it, but again, anytime that ball isn't right or it's not placed right, which can cause by a bad snap, oftentimes you'll see a kick that's not hit as pure as it should be.
Surprised they didn't go for it. I mean, generally when you play Hawaii, you feel like you have to outscore them. It was certainly a manageable fourth down distance, and this is a very long field goal for a brand new kicker on a wet field.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit surprised because look what the result is. You're still going to get the ball result at the same time with a new kicker.
Brennan comes out throwing into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Andrew Ryan brings it back to the 40-yard line. Ryan, a reserve safety, a walk-on out of the College of San Mateo in his first year here as a junior college transfer with the interception. The 9th in the last 4 games for the San Jose State Spartans.
We'll see Andrew Ryan getting help in the middle of the field, coming from the backside. Colt Brennan doesn't see him coming over. Misread coverage, thought it was cover 2. It ends up being a 3 deep off of a cover 2 look. Misread of the coverage. Ryan does a good job. He had his eye on the receiver, saw the receiver's eyes get big, gets his head back to the quarterback, and makes a big play for his buddies.
An excellent field position. Tafralis took the snap on 1st and 10 from the 43. And a little too much air on that pass. Looking for Terrence Williams. Made 16 interceptions all of last year. 9 of those from the All-American Dwight Lowry. 12 already this season. He came into tonight's game 5th in the nation with 11 interceptions. That's Dwight Lowry on the right of your screen, and Christopher Owens in the center with Ryan, who just had his first career pick as a San Jose State Spartan.
And both corners are solid cover guys, especially Chris Owens can really play man-to-man, which allows defensive coordinator Dave Phipp to do a lot of different things.
Whoops! Tafralis had the ball slip out of his hand and got on it back at the 50-yard line. Michael Lafaeli right there. He slimmed down, Michael, down to 300 pounds over the 330 from a year ago.
We see right there, Adam, as we mentioned earlier, Colt Brennan really hasn't had a problem handling the wet football. If anybody's had the problem, it's been Adam. Twice we saw poorly thrown balls because of a poor grip. Right there, the ball didn't even get off because of a poor grip.
Well, both quarterbacks should be used to it. Colt Brennan told us yesterday it rains regularly in Hawaii. Sometimes you get that light rain, so they're used to practicing in it, playing in it. And San Jose State practices in the mornings here when it can be cold and damp as well in the South Bay. About an hour south of San Francisco. Pass intended for Juravich. Meyer and Newberry had the coverage, so they cannot capitalize on the Ryan interception. And the Spartans will punt.
Well, we're not necessarily the rain has stopped, but we're seeing being affected is the footing of both teams. And right there, that was a misread between Juravich and Tafralis. Juravich stopped because he was looking for the throw behind, where Tafralis thought he was going to keep going. So they got to get on the same page and work that out.
Third punt for Waylon Prather slips down. Devon Best caught it at the 6. And he's pulled across the boundary at the 14-yard line. Pompey Festejo made the tackle. 44-yard punt despite the slip and the low snap. And an 8-yard return by Bess. Hawaii back on offense, leading 7-0 when we come back to San Jose.
These days, it seems like they're trying to protect us from everything. Roll-On protects us from odor. Coffee has a warning label. This is hot. You think we're missing the point? Let's just keep our eye on the big ball. Protect us from the things that matter. The things we can't see coming.
Honda EU Series generators are perfect for hardcore tailgaters. They provide reliable power for all sorts of things, and they're incredibly quiet.
I got this one.
Which neighbors really appreciate. Honda generators.
Bring it.
A
Attention football fans. Gear up for the season like never before with this NFL Performer Jacket with the logo of your favorite team free. Plus this NFL collectible football free. That's right, get this Team Choice NFL Jacket free when you order 56 issues of Sports Illustrated at only $1.59 each. Save 65% off the cover price. Use your credit card and get this NFL football also free. As a special bonus, order at sioffer.com and get this SI gym bag also free. With SI, you'll get the sharpest NFL insights and analysis, spectacular photos, and coverage of all your favorite sports. The SI Fantasy Football section, the must-have preview issues, and the sizzling hot swimsuit issue. And this Team Choice NFL Performer Jacket free. Use your credit card and get this NFL football also free. And if you order at sioffer.com, get this SI gym bag also free.
Call 1-800-458-1600 now. Call 1-800-458-1600 or visit sioffer.com.
With just 6 races to go, the chase for the NASCAR Nextel Cup is heating up, and so are the tempers of the 12 chase drivers. But it's all smiles for Jeff Gordon after reclaiming the points lead from Jimmy Johnson in Talladega. The bell refires in the Bank of America 500 at Charlotte, Saturday night at 7 Eastern on ABC.
Boy, and the chase for the Cup could not get much closer. Jeff Gordon with a 9-point lead over Jimmy Johnson. Clint Boyer within 63 points. Gordon has only 4 career wins. He has 4 career wins at Lowe's Motor Speedway, but hasn't been in the winner's circle there since 1999. First and 10, Hawaii from their own 14-yard line. David Farmer tackled by Matt Costello, the middle linebacker. He had 165 tackles last year, second in the nation. He stopped that play after a 5-yard gain.
As mentioned, he's got to be a factor anytime Hawaii goes opposite of what they love to do and run the football, especially inside. Matt Costello is a good enough player to make a difference.
Brennan slings one incomplete. A little bit wide of Jason Rivers. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Brennan, ordinarily so accurate, just 7 out of 17 passing tonight for 86 yards and an interception. He's just 3 for his last 12.
Well, you can see, I think something that's affecting Hawaii's execution of their offense right there is the footing and the timing is upset. You saw Rivers slip out of his break. Colt Brennan's throwing on time, but if Rivers isn't getting down to the field because of the soggy conditions, it'll be disrupted.
Brennan on the money to Jason Rivers, first down to the 40-yard line. Boy, even under duress, he put that one right on target for 21. And a first down for June Jones and the Warriors.
Well, this is a nice job of footwork by Colt Brennan in the pocket. And he slides to his left and is able, again, with that 3-quarter delivery, has the ability to throw across his body. Look at his vision right here. Sliding to the left. You see that 3-quarter, Sean? Getting it in the throwing lane as he's kind of fading away. That's what I like about him, boy. He just keeps slinging that rock any way you want it.
June Jones referred to Colt Brennan's freaky accuracy. It hasn't been pinpoint tonight, but he's had a couple of drops and some receivers slipping. Nothing wrong with that. Throw another first down to Rivers just across the midfield stripe. With Dominique Hunsucker in coverage. An 11-yard gain. June Jones said in all of his years playing quarterback, coaching in the NFL, and coaching in college, he's only seen 3 quarterbacks whose right foot is off the ground when they deliver the ball with regularity. Jeff George, Dan Marino, and Colt Brennan.
And that's where they generate the power with their hips from that short release. And we talked in the open about how quick their release, and the examples I used was Marino.
Brian Grice-Mullens. That's about 14 more down near the 35-yard line. Carl Iannaccio made the tackle.
Well, here's where San Jose has to get some type of pressure. Even though Colt Brennan does get the ball off in a hurry, a lot of these times he's kind of sitting back there and just waiting for targets to run open. It's very difficult to cover a man for a long period of time down the field. You can only take so long. You got to generate some type of pressure.
Back up to 50% with 3 straight completions for Brennan. 109 career touchdown passes, including one in 31 straight games. Hasn't thrown one yet tonight. That pass batted down, and he almost caught it on the ricochet. Aaron Gilbert knocked it down.
Well, Aaron Gilbert recognizes that's a three-step drop, and Aaron Gilbert does the spin move and gets the big paw up in the air. Steinhoff has to cut him. You want to stop passes being knocked down at the line of scrimmage? You're an offensive lineman on a short set. Take that defensive lineman and knock your helmet through his knees. Guarantee you his hands will go down.
Quick toss and the catch. Best, the stiff arm, extends the ball, and did he get the first down as he went across the sideline near the 27-yard line, chased out by Dominique Hunsucker.
So we talk about run after catch ability, and Best turning into the running back, giving a nice stiff arm right to the chops. See right here on Lowry, the All-American candidate, puts his hand right on his head. Lowry does not extend, and Best just outruns him to the first down marker.
Nine-yard gain, third down and one. Hawaii leading 7-0. Averaging 53 points per game. They've scored at least 32 points in each of their last 16 games. Held to 7 so far tonight. Brennan keeps and has the first down. Let's check in with Rob Stone.
Well, guys, this has been interesting. After every offensive play, Colt Brennan will kind of trot over, sometimes closer than others, to June Jones. And this is not an in-depth conversation that they're having, but essentially after every play, here comes Colt trotting on over here. It's constant coaching. He gets a little pointer, he gets a little pep talk, and he gets the play, and then he goes over. Now, one of the critiques about Colt Brennan is that he's a system quarterback. He's embraced that concept. But keep this in mind, guys. He has spent a ton of time this offseason and this season learning how to break down defenses with Coach Jones so he can take his game to the next level, unlike a lot of other Hawaii QBs who haven't had that success on Sundays.
Well, they take extra time to look at NFL film and get looks at stuff that Colt won't necessarily see in college to try to prepare him for the next level. Grice-Mullens pulled down after a short gain. When we visited with Colt yesterday, he said the advice he gets most often from Coach Jones is watch Peyton Manning. Well, that's what he does.
That's a good guy to watch. You can take a look at Tom Brady, another good guy to watch. But I think when you look at Colt and June has instilled this offense into Colt. And when they get on the same page, and that's the benefit that Hawaii has as their head coach, being the offensive coordinator and basically the co-creator of this offense, along with Mouse Davis up at Portland State when June was the quarterback.
Another first down, Devon Bess down near the 10-yard line, pulled down by Dwight Lowry. Bess's family making the trip from Oakland. Delighted with that development, 13 yards. And a first down for Hawaii, looking to add on their 7-0 lead. 3 catches for 31 yards for Bess.
Well, Bess is something. Again, June, as you pointed out, Sean referred to him as a bigger, stronger Andre Rison. Well, if that's the case, he's got a pretty darn good NFL career ahead of him, because Andre Rison was a great player in the NFL.
Bess originally ticketed for Oregon State out of high school, had some difficulty off the field that sidetracked that journey. Blitz coming. Brennan lost the football and got it back. He jumped in the air to avoid the rush. Duke Iheanacho, the freshman, 18-year-old, coming on a safety blitz, applying the pressure. And again, perhaps the wet conditions also contributing to the ball slipping out of the hand of Colt Brennan.
Again, you have to create pressure if you can't get it from a 4-man rush. You see Iheanacho coming in, leaves his feet, which he should do, but a nice job, Sean, of coming down, having the awareness to bring that right arm and whack at that football. It's being held with one hand most times by quarterback. Whack it out of there, just like he did.
Second and goal, lost back to the 16-yard line. Low snap. Brennan throws toward the back of the end zone, and it's caught. Went right through the hands of Dwight Lowry, it seemed, from here, and into the arms of Ryan Grice-Mullens. Well, the crowd started to cheer. Everybody on our side of the stadium at an angle that made it appear that Lowry was going to pick that pass off. They were cheering in anticipation of the pick, and it went right off the hands of Lowry and into the hands of Grice-Mullens.
Well, Grice-Mullens, first of all, that's a great job of focusing on the football. Lowry, Dave Phipp told us, the defensive coordinator, has great hands and rarely drops an interception.
He said in 2 years he's seen him drop one ball. One of the reasons he had 9 interceptions, he has outstanding hands. But not that time. Chance to make a big play. Instead, it's a huge play for Hawaii. The extra point by Dan Kelly made it 14-0.
It's always there. Every time you need it. Making things move. Breathe. Helping the savers meet the saved. Air. It's a beautiful thing.
There's a moment at night when all you want is fourth meal. Melty, crunchy, spicy, and grilled.
This is Sharon. She's always busy picking up the kids, going to the gym, or meeting with clients. As responsible as she is, accidents sometimes happen. But Island Insurance is always here to help. With the Island Certified Auto Repair Shop program, Sharon can rest assured that her repairs will be handled at an industry-leading facility, so she can get back on the road and do what she does best. Remind you of anyone? Island Insurance, always here to help.
7-Eleven serving up another great meal deal. For just $3.99, it's your choice of a tuna salad, chicken salad, egg salad, or combo salad sandwich, along with a 32-ounce Big Gulp. Our Bake Fresh Daily Glazed Ring Donut is on special at 75 cents. Here for a limited time, Pumpkin Spice Hot Cappuccino. The 20-ounce cup is just $1.25 every day. And all varieties of Mega Grab Doritos are on special at $1.19. There's so much to enjoy at 7-Eleven.
ESPN's College Football Primetime. Brought to you by Hyundai. Now there are more reasons to check out a new Hyundai. Visit HyundaiUSA.com. And Taco Bell. Think outside the box.
We're here in Silicon Valley, home of eBay, the online auction website. Started here in San Jose back in 1995. And now nearly $2,000 worth of merchandise sold every minute. Tonight, we put up for auction 3 autographed footballs. Each of the announcers on our Friday night telecast tonight signed a ball. All the proceeds will go to the V Foundation to fight cancer in memory of the late, great Jim Valvano. Apparently, your $1,500 plus bid was fraudulent after our research people looked into it, so you're back down to $1,300.
I thought it was because I put that cartoon picture of myself. It dropped.
And Kelly's kickoff. Returned by Dominique Hunsucker to the 30-yard line, a 21-yard return. Michael Lau made the tackle. A touchdown throw by Colt Brennan, the 110th of his career, 32 straight games with the touchdown throw. And barring injury, he's going to be the all-time record holder in major college football. He'll break Ty Detmer's record sometime this year if he stays healthy.
I can see why, again, the product of the offense, but frankly, he's gotten away with 2 passes tonight. Both of them should have been interceptions.
Yeah, and it was an outstanding cornerback in each instance who could not hang on to the ball. Lowry on the last touchdown. Christopher Owens right before the first touchdown. James T. Collier, the running back. And he got 7 out to the 36-yard line. we saw Timmy Chang's name high on that all-time touchdowns list. Rob Stone made the reference to the concerns that'll probably be about any Hawaii quarterback. Is he a product of the system, or is he a great talent? Colt Brennan embraces the label system quarterback. He said, yes, this is a great system, and it's any quarterback's job to perform well in the system that he's in. And obviously, he's done that. Collier stuck for a loss as all of a sudden San Jose State is trying to establish the run. Fale Leeli made the tackle. But when you judge Colt Brennan, you have to say, yes, he's performing well in the system, but what is his skill set?
Well, here's the difference. Now, Timmy Chang is about 5'11". This guy's 6'3". And again, the release that we're talking about, that's something that NFL scouts and coaches embrace and look for, the arm strength and accuracy. And maybe not so much tonight, because I do believe the timing of the route's been affected by the field. But I see that he has NFL ability. Absolutely. There's no question in my mind about it.
Adam Tafralis dumps it off short. They pick up the first down. Jalal Beachman out to the 42-yard line. Chased out by Gerard Lewis after a gain of 9. 1st and 10 Spartans, trailing 14-0, more than midway through the second quarter.
Well, so right here, this is good patience, allowing Beachman to clear the zone, not sitting down on it, but running across because the corner is off and making a play. That's a San Jose State has got to make plays, Sean, when they have the opportunity. If they don't make the plays, it's only a matter of time before this offense explodes on a big play, meaning the Warrior offense. They have to take advantage of their field position and make big plays when they're needed to be made.
Collier through a nice hole. And he's out to the 49-yard line, a gain of 7. Here's Rob Stone.
All right, so in a shocker, I'm in last place in the CBA Challenge. So it's time to go through my Rolodex, and I bring in Brandy Chastain. My girlfriend, Brandy's autograph, was kind enough to autograph a soccer ball for us and a book, and has some bonus words for you, Spielman.
Yeah, I heard you were giving smack about, there's surely some soccer fans out there watching, one of which is your daughter, Maddie, who's a goal scorer, so I'm sure she really would like these items. So you might want to call her and say, okay, Maddie, go ahead and put in your bid for $1,500.
That's the sales pitch.
That's what I'm saying.
Girl, Brandy.
Come on, Maddie.
Wow, that's pressure. Tafralis, this pass incomplete. Brian Elledge had a ricochet off him, then it was caught on the ricochet. One of the offensive linemen grabbed it. Noah Natubai made the catch.
A true freshman came in as a defender. He didn't know he was going to be a wide receiver. And Elridge takes a shot. Elridge takes a shot right here. A big shot by Patek or Adam Leonard. But nice athleticism by Natubai, coming in and making a play. Big fella. And things like that have to happen for San Jose for them to get back into this thing.
Elledge, after being down for a moment, might have just had the wind knocked out of him. He's off the field now. Yeah, big reason that they've improved offensively the last few weeks. This is the first game this year they've started the same 5 offensive linemen in back-to-back games. They're playing with 3 true freshman offensive linemen.
And again, I've watched them on film, Sean, and they're pretty darn good for being 18 or 19 years old and making plays and hanging in there.
5.5 to go till halftime. 14-0 Hawaii. San Jose State's moved the ball from time to time, but only in spurts. James T. Collier made the carry. You want to respond to Brandy Chastain?
Well, I would bid on it for Brandy Chastain. I think it's awesome, and unfortunately, I don't think Maddie has that kind of money to be able to bid the kind of money we want her to bid.
Bank?
Bid at $640 gets you the Rob Stone signed football.
Yeah, you don't have to get the book and everything in Rob Stone's ball. You just need to beat the current bid, which was what, $6.30 for Stoner's ball the last time we saw it.
Hey, maybe Spielman could raise her allowance a couple $100 this week. Spot or something, Spiels. Come on, buddy.
So just to review, you not only get the Rob Stone ball if you bid for Rob Stone. Collier couldn't handle the pass on the far sideline, but you get it was a Brandy Chastain autographed ball.
Yeah, soccer ball.
And a book.
Right, that's outstanding, and she's one of the all-time greats as far as women's soccer go, and I would bid that, and I would bid that for my daughter, but she doesn't get that yet. I paid for too much other things for it. She'll have to work to get that. If she can bench 120 pounds, she can get the ball in the book.
You know what, Daddy? You know what Maddie's saying right now? Daddy's a cheapskate on national TV.
As you know that.
Yes, I do know that. But maybe now you're 42 years old as of the Thursday. Might have turned a new leaf. Third and long. They're going for the deep ball. A lot of hand fighting, and it's intercepted. Intended for David Richmond, and Myron Newberry picked it off. Second interception of the night, thrown by Adam Tafralis.
Well, Adam threw it over the wrong shoulder. Throw it to the inside of the field. That's where he's beat. Richmond hasn't beat deep on the inside. They were to come back with their own little switch route. He hangs in there. Really, the pressure didn't bother the throw. Newberry does a nice job of making a play on the football, but if that ball was thrown to the inside, he had Newberry boxed out, and the safety help was beat underneath. Again, making a play and making a throw when one needs to be made. Yet San Jose State has not been able to capitalize on anything or any momentum that they're getting.
Third interception of the year for the senior from Denton, Texas, Myron Newberry. He's returned one for a touchdown this year. So Brennan comes out hurling, and a bit too far for Devon Bess, with Dwight Lowry in coverage. And that matchup, great to watch all night. Bess, one of the best receivers. Lowry, one of the best corners. 9 interceptions last year. And every week as we travel around, we meet these young people. We hear their stories, and each of them has overcome so much to get to where they are tonight. We mentioned Bess was in high school in Oakland, all fired up, heading to Oregon State. He got in trouble off the field. Wrong place, wrong time. He was helping some friends move some boxes. He didn't realize it was stolen merchandise. When the authorities arrived, they were all arrested. And Bess did time in a juvenile detention facility. Brennan taken down for the second time tonight, back at the 4-yard line. Jerron Gilbert made the tackle. He's number 90. Ordinarily, he's number 53, and Aaron Gilbert's number 97. We were told that Aaron Gilbert tonight would be wearing 90 instead of 97, but apparently it's Jerron Gilbert who's 90 and not 53. So we apologize to Jerron for not giving him credit for some nice plays earlier, but we were told Aaron Gilbert was 90. It's actually Jerron Gilbert who's 90 tonight.
Well, Jerron Gilbert is a playmaker tonight, Sean. Again, making plays, knocking down passes, getting pressure, running downfield, and he's got a great get-off on the ball, which helps.
Brennan out of the end zone, and a great diving catch by Jason Rivers. On third down and 14 from their own 4-yard line, a 19-yard completion, and what a catch by Rivers. Coach Jones says he has an NFL future, and you can understand why when you see that catch.
Well, you see Colt Brennan right here, and Rivers making up for a dropped ball earlier, laying out and making a catch on a ball that was underthrown. But Colt Brennan waited patiently. That's tough to do if your quarterback can wait patiently in the end zone. You feel that heat coming. He waited patiently for Rivers to make the play. Rivers paid it back with a nice catch.
Adding to his career yardage total, he leads all active receivers in career receiving yards. 62 yards receiving on 5 catches tonight. Fumble was just about a lateral. There's no whistle, and now finally they say incomplete pass. They were a bit casual. David Farmer watched the ball land and didn't chase after it. Lowry was alert. That was very nearly a lateral thrown by Colt Brennan.
It looked to me like it was a lateral again now.
It did. And the officials were a little slow on the whistle. A couple of them looked at each other before they waved it incomplete. Light rain has started to fall again. But off and on light rain, we've had some heavy downpours from time to time, starting last night here in the South Bay. 2nd and 10. 14-0 Hawaii, nearing 3 minutes to go in the half. Rivers could not escape. Austin Carter had him around the waist, a gain of 7. But we're talking about Devon Bess and his journey to get to Hawaii. He went to the juvenile detention facility. They played football there. He said it was more of a boys' ranch. From time to time, they'd get outside, throw the football around 7-on-7 competitions. Well, he had an old high school coach who was a GA, graduate assistant at Hawaii. They got one of the tapes from the detention facility, the 7-on-7. June Jones liked what he saw, invited Bess when he got out of the facility to come for a visit, and Bess knew that was the right place for him. You see that big smile. I really enjoyed speaking with Devon Bess yesterday. What a great opportunity he has taken advantage of at Hawaii. And right on cue, he has the first down catch as they convert another third down on a gain of 10.
Devon Bess does a good job of pushing upfield. He is a deep threat. And here's that little switch route again. This time Chris Owens plays it nicely. Devon Bess, what I'd like to see him work back to that ball a little bit, but Chris Owens had a little trouble getting his traction. And it says something about June Jones too, Sean, about giving a kid a second opportunity. And also his ability to recognize talent off of juvie football scouting tape. Yeah, I mean, that says something about something you believe in yourself. When you know talent, you go after that talent.
First and 10 under 2 minutes to go in the half. Hawaii does have all 3 timeouts left, and there's another drop. And Rivers just made a great catch, but he's also had a couple of drops tonight. Let's get a preview of the Olive Garden halftime report from Reese Davis.
All right, Sean, coming up at halftime, we're going to talk about teams that have been a little bit Jekyll and Hyde and tell you which team is actually the real squad. Mark and Lou will break those down. We'll also look at the quarterback candidates for the Heisman Trophy, and there are plenty of them. And the Red Sox, as Sean pointed out early in the first half, well on their way to a world championship. They are at least on their way to a 1-0 lead in the ALCS. We'll get you up to date.
All right. I don't see you sporting the Cleveland Indians hat you've been wearing for the last couple of days here. Brennan takes off running on 2nd and 10. 5-yard gain.
You guys are going to use up all your runs tonight. We got we got Westbrook coming number 2, Fausto coming 3.
Yeah, then who are you going to pitch in the last game of the series?
Paul Bird.
Timeout Hawaii. 1:43 to go in the half. Colt Brennan and the Warriors lead 14-0.
Drivers who want to get the most out of their cars, it's Bridgestone or nothing.
Instant gratification has us in a stranglehold. So much so that we don't want to fix things anymore. Just replace them. Don't like your nose? Get a new one. Don't like your job? Get a new one. Don't like your spouse? Get a new one. Whatever happened to commitment? To standing by our decisions?
When does your buy 3, get 1 free tire deal end?
Oh, it's ongoing every day.
But for a limited time?
Ma'am, it's 7 days a week.
What about Tuesday?
We can do Tuesday.
Oh, so Tuesday's not good for me.
Buy 3 tires at Pep Boys and the 4th one's free. Any brand, any size, with the lowest tire prices guaranteed. It's almost too good to be true.
Okay, it sort of seems like you're speaking in code.
Buy 3 and get the 4th tire free at Pep Boys.
Taste the authentic Italian flavors of Papa John's 2 new Tuscan pizzas. Our new thin crust 6-cheese pizza, loaded with a rich blend of 6 Italian cheeses. And our new Roma meats pizza with Italian salami, classic Italian sausage, and fresh sliced Roma tomatoes. 2 new large Tuscan pizzas, both a great value at just $11.99 each. Try one today, try the other tomorrow. Call or click papajohns.com.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Sean McDonough, Chris Spielman, Rob Stone back in San Jose, California. Hawaii with the ball, leading 14-0. A minute 43 to go till halftime. 3rd down and 4. Warriors from their own 45, and this time they do not convert. on third down. The pass intended for Jason Rivers with Dwight Lowry in coverage.
Remember, Hawaii normally likes to go for it on fourth down, but with this little time left, I think you'd want to pin the San Jose State offense back with a 14-0 lead.
Second punt of the night from Tim Grasso. Dwight Lowry waiting for the blocks to set up. And that patience is rewarded. He will go. No flags on the field. Touchdown, San Jose State, 84 yards.
Sean, you pointed it out, the patience. First of all, it's a low kick, so the coverage is slow. And you're going to see a wall set up right here. He sets it up, just walls coming with players blocking. And you'll see Lowry bounce to the outside. You get good blocks, avoid hitting people in the back. The punter jumped underneath, and the rest, as they say, is his story.
Dwight Lowry, the All-American cornerback, with his first punt return for a touchdown this season and the first for the Spartans this year. 84-yard return of a 37-yard punt. And it's a one-score game near the half. Electrifying play by Dwight Lowry, senior, with an 84-yard punt return to get San Jose State on the board and within 7 points of Hawaii.
You see a couple knockout blocks on the way. They lost contain. San Jose State did a great job of patience, and Lowry take it to the house.
Hawaii, the best kickoff return team in the country so far this season. And that one run back by Michael Washington to the 28-yard line. We mentioned when we were talking about best battling Lowry tonight, they each have a story. Dwight Lowry, raised by a single mom. When he was 12 years old, his mother gave birth to a daughter, Audrey, who was born with a heart defect, holes in her heart that required surgeries. And his mom, being a single mom, needed to work. So for many days, many long hours, year after year, when he was a middle schooler, he was charged with the care of his infant sister.
Just amazing stories that we hear and self-sacrifice that these young kids make. Talking about being mature for your age.
Happy to say that Audrey is 9 years old now and in good health. She frequently makes it to the games, along with Dwight's mom. Flag down, apparently for a procedure call.
62, offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Keith Ossoon, the left tackle, part of the best offensive line that June Jones says he's had at Hawaii in his 9 years. And Justin Cole slow to get up for the Spartans. We spoke with Dave Phipp, the defensive coordinator for the San Jose State Spartans yesterday. He says, I'm sick. I haven't slept all week. Said there's really no way to stop Hawaii. You just try to slow them down. Said they've scored 32 points or more in 16 straight games, so you know you're not going to stop them. But he's done a great job tonight. He said you got to throw them a lot of different looks, a little bit of everything, and that's what they've done.
Well, his staff has prepared well. Even in the offseason, they went down and looked at and talked to Texas Tech about how would you defend or TCU to how did you defend Texas Tech and how they throw the ball. Well, he did that with Hawaii. They put a lot of time into it, and his kids have responded well. And anytime you have corners that can play man-to-man, they have a nice little plan here. They're showing man, they're backing off, and forcing Colt Brennan to make shorter throws and giving them nothing over the top. And the field conditions, frankly, Sean, are helping them.
Well, sometimes a sloppy field can be a great equalizer. And this Hawaii offense, ordinarily so surgical under outstanding conditions. The timing perfect, the cuts so precise. And they have not been surgical in their execution tonight, in part because of the wet field. And everybody's slipping. And it played rather conservatively by Warrior standards. A run. It gets them to the 36, short of the first down. Clock running, 1:05 to go. Each team with 2 timeouts left in the half. Andrew Ryan took down Polaris.
Iheanacho had a chance. Being a young player playing the linebacker position as safety, had a chance to make a tackle in the hole through a no-hitter.
Brennan on second down into traffic, ricochets around and falls incomplete. 3 blue-shirted Spartans right there on the coverage of Devon Bess.
And that's what I'm talking about. The field conditions slowing him down. Bess had the ball in his hands. He's going to make the catch, and his feet go out from under him. And Colt Brennan showing tremendous confidence, throwing it with 3 blue shirts around him.
32 straight games with over 200 yards passing for Colt Brennan. 207 on 17 out of 33. A touchdown and an interception. And a 3rd down and 3 here to try to keep this possession alive from their own 35. The option pitch. And a 1st down to the 40. Etoa Polaris, the true freshman, with a gain of 5 and a 1st down.
It's a good conservative call because of the footing. Maybe they didn't trust the short little route, but they've had some success running the option tonight, and they did a good job. Grice-Mullens blocking downfield. Again, perimeter blocking on Lowry, allowing Polaris to hit the hole and go.
They don't rush much. Polaris, their leading rusher for the season, and he averages 32 yards per game. As a team, they average 77 rushing yards per game. They just mix it in there enough to try to keep it a little bit honest. Rivers with the play broken up. Duke Iheanacho, the safety, made the tackle. Brother Carl is a defensive end on this San Jose State team. Duke is a true freshman.
And Duke had a good job in the angle on breaking on the football and times the route nicely. And Rivers could have maybe went up there with 2 hands, maybe felt the presence of the Duke coming over for the shot.
Nachos are from Los Angeles. 98 of their 101 players are from California. 2nd and 10, 31 seconds to go. The inside handoff to Polaris. And he's down at the 44, and that looked like a conservative call, but June Jones is going to call a timeout here. They'll try to score again with 24 seconds left. 1 timeout remaining at their own 44-yard line. Leading 14-7. I mentioned the first BCS standings will come out this weekend. Our ESPN research staff with their projections. Hawaii is number 16 in all the major polls this week. I believe if the BCS standings were out right now, they'd be 20th. With LSU number 1, Cal number 2, Spielman's Buckeyes number 3.
Yeah, and your Eagles number 4. If we're going to say it like that.
I lived in Boston. I did not go to Boston College. I went to Syracuse, which obviously has seen its football team derailed by the rigorous academic standards at the Harvard of Central New York. Said a graduate of the school. 3rd down and 5. 4 receivers, 2 to each side. This run and shoot attack directed by Colt Brennan. 1st down. Whoa. And then C.J. Hawthorne got clotheslined by Jonathan Harris, the hard-hitting safety. Junior from Oakland, out of the College of San Mateo, not far from here.
It's been a big addition to Coach Phipp and Coach Tomey's defense. Really a physical presence in that secondary. Dan Kelly, the kicker from Hawaii, has a long of 54, so keep that in mind if Hawaii progresses down the field.
Now timeout called by San Jose State. Defense looks like they're dragging a little bit. Dick Tomey and Dave Phipp want to make sure they're ready to play here for the last 16 seconds. Hawaii 16th in the polls. They finish in the top 12. Guaranteed a spot in a BCS bowl. And they're probably going to have to run the table. 4 out of the remaining 5 are at home. June Jones knows at Nevada will not be easy. Says it's going to be cold. We're not used to the cold. And of course, Boise State, the power in the WAC in recent years, and Washington much improved with Jake Locker at quarterback to close out the season in Honolulu.
Yeah, and again, I think the road schedule was something that they were concerned about, and big win down at Louisiana Tech, going into overtime in tough conditions for them and winning on the road. That should give them confidence, and they're carrying that confidence here tonight under sloppy conditions that they're not used to playing under.
Well, they travel thousands of miles every time they go on the road. And they practice early in the morning Honolulu time, usually at 7 a.m. In part because they want to stay on Honolulu time as much as they can, even when they travel. Best the catch, or rather Hawthorne the catch, and then he went out of bounds, far sideline, in what would be long field goal range now, about a 52-yarder. Ball at the 35-yard line after a 13-yard completion. The Hawthorne, who played defensive back last year, and Coach Jones said with reflection he probably shouldn't have moved Hawthorne to defense. A very good receiver, part of that strong foursome with Grice-Mullens and Jason Rivers and Bess.
You can see why June Jones calls this his best offensive line. Colt Brennan all kinds of time. He'll pick you apart if you give me a big ability.
A 4-man rush. And they still pressure Brennan. He's across the line of scrimmage. He stayed in bounds. And he uses their final timeout at the 31-yard line with 1 second to go in the half. So time to try a long field goal from Dan Kelly. He's 5 out of 7 this year with a 54-yarder that he made at home against Utah State last Saturday, the 5th longest field goal in school history. So he has the leg to do this. Made a 49-yarder with a minute and a half to go when Louisiana Tech pushed that game into overtime, which the Warriors won when Louisiana Tech went for 2 and didn't get it in overtime. Hawaii won by 1.
But one thing to watch here, and again, we've seen it all night, the middle of the field is starting to get chewed up. He is on the right hash, and we'll watch his plant foot. You see his plant foot's going to be his left foot. He's got to hit it in there.
Tim Grasso is the holder. He's the punter. Dan Kelly, junior from Temecula, California. That's a bomb, but no good. It was more than long enough from 48 yards, but wide left, and it takes us to the half. Brennan 19 out of 36 for 227 in the half. Here's Rob Stone.
Well, Coach, how the field conditions affected your offensive rhythm?
It looks like Colt's having a little hard time setting his feet and throwing. He's slipping a little bit when he throws, but, it's the same for both teams. We made some plays. Too bad on the punt return for a touchdown, but hopefully we can just keep it going.
Talking about that punt return, how will that affect your halftime message?
Well, we already know what was wrong there. We have a 21-man rule, and we allowed him outside of us. And, it's unfortunate. You got to do your job every play.
Coach, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Our score at the half, Hawaii 14, San Jose State 7. Now, Reese Davis and the gentlemen with the Olive Garden halftime report.
All right, Sean Lou Holtz, Mark May alongside. They are taking time away from bidding on the autographed footballs from Chris and Sean and Rob Stone.
Well, we did a game on Wednesday night. We didn't have a computer in the booth where you could go on eBay like Sean and bidding up the price of football.
Oh, mine would have been very valuable because it don't spell real well. But I can tell why Chris Billman, boy, it's autograph from Ohio State, man. That's really worth something because you don't see that often.
Well, why is that? Why is that, Coach?
Oh, because they don't write real well. I have to. No, Chris, I want to tell you.
Okay.
I coached there under Woody Hayes. I love Ohio State.
Cardinal letters to Lou Holtz.
Here.
Hey, let's talk about this stage here for Colt Brennan and Hawaii. The Rainbow Warriors, as Sean has mentioned, trying to get in the top 12 in the BCS. They have to get there if they want to make it to a BCS game. A stage for Brennan's Heisman candidacy. What did you think in the first half under some difficult weather conditions?
Difficult weather conditions, some drops, etc. At this rate, he's going to throw for 450 yards. You pick paper, say that's great. But I got to tell you, I wasn't that impressed for a couple reasons. Number one, he had no pressure on him. There's nobody. He doesn't have to throw around defenders, anything. He can stand there, wait till he's ready to throw time after time. And the most important thing, there's no pass rush lanes. And so it's just like playing 7-on-7. Sure, he's outstanding, but 450 yards, you go, wow. But when I look at it, I'm not that impressed.
Well, maybe the reason why he's got a lot of time is because his offensive line is doing a good job. Bottom line there. But the other reason is why you look at the field looks like a quagmire out there. They're having problem with their footing. It's throwing off the timing for the wide receivers. This isn't excuses for Colt Brennan, but this Hawaii offense hadn't played in rain or weather like this. They're out there on the island in beautiful weather. They're not used to this, so I think that could probably affect him. But I think at halftime they'll make adjustments.
So 14-7, Hawaii has the lead. American League Championship Series in baseball getting underway, and the Red Sox beat up on CC Sabathia. They're in the top of the 7th. Boston is cruising 10-2. Remember, you can hear all of the games on ESPN Radio. John Miller and Joe Morgan calling the American League Championship Series. Red Sox just a few outs away now from going up 1-0, barring a big Indians comeback late. Still to come on the Olive Garden halftime report, some teams have had a little bit of that Jekyll Hyde quality as we get a little closer to Halloween. We'll unmask them, tell you who the real team is when we come back.
This halftime report brought to you by Olive Garden. When you're here, you're family.
Welcome back to ESPN's College Football Primetime. Tonight's broadcast brought to you in high definition and presented by Pioneer Curo HD TV. Toughest test of the season for the Hawaii Warriors as they take on Adam Tafralis and the San Jose Spartans tonight here in San Jose, California. San Jose State trailing 14-7. The Aloha Polaris, the 6-yard touchdown run in the first quarter to give Hawaii the lead. That was after an interception set it up. And Ryan Grice-Mullens, the 16-yard touchdown pass from Colt Brennan. San Jose State had only 106 yards of offense in the first half, but they got an electrifying 84-yard punt return from Dwight Lowry, the All-American, for their only score at half. So despite the fact, Chris, that they were statistically outplayed, a lot working in the favor of the Spartans at the half.
Well, and they have to take advantage of the opportunities that they do have. Adam Tafralis has to get this offense going. He has the ability. The wet ball, the footing has hurt both offenses a little bit, but it's all about taking advantage of opportunities. You intercept the ball or you have a chance to intercept it, you must intercept it to slow down this Hawaii offense. Both teams will make their adjustments, and we'll see who adjusts better coming out for the second half.
Let's take a look now at the first half statistics. Hawaii with the decided edge in play, outgaining San Jose State in total yardage, 272 to 106, and only 11 yards rushing for the Spartans. They continue to scuffle with their ground game as they have all season long, 117th in the country in rushing at 65 yards per game. Hawaii to get the ball first to open the second half. Jared Strubeck kicks off. And Michael Washington, the return, tripped up shy of the 20-yard line. A moment ago, Rob Stone spoke with Dick Tomey.
Well, Coach Tomey, you just told me one of the keys for the second half is getting your running game going. How do you do it?
Well, we're not going to run the ball great. We're not a great running team, but we got to just keep them interested in the running game. We got to keep them interested in it. We got a little something going at the end. We got to protect the passer. We got to get better pass rush. We got to just keep doing some of the things we're doing. We got to excel in the kicking game. We got to excel in the kicking game.
Coach, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
And they did excel in the kicking game in the first half. That punt return, the only score for the Spartans. Colt Brennan, 19 out of 36 in the first half for 227. A touchdown, an interception. That one's intercepted, and they will tie the game. It's Dwight Lowry again. A punt return for a touchdown, now an interception return for a score. 23 yards on this return by Lowry.
Well, Lowry does a good job. First of all, the ball's late coming out of his hands and it's thrown behind. Lowry making up for the dropped interception. His second touchdown of the night. Great players make great plays in great games. Right now, Lowry is playing like the All-American that he's made out to be. Ball was late.
Third interception of the year. He had 9 last season. And the extra point by Will Johnson ties the game. So it's Hawaii 14 and Dwight Lowry 14.
Yeah.
Well, he scored 12 and they had the 2 extra points.
We talk about adjustments being made at halftime. Dave Phipp, the defensive coordinator, says, look, on first down, they like a lot of these quick, shorter routes. We're going to kind of play an off-man technique. Go ahead and take a shot. Right there, Lowry made the shot. Colt Brennan was late with the throw. He eyed down the receiver, and Lowry broke inside, and the ball was thrown on the wrong shoulder, and the guy has good hands. And he makes up for it. He does a great job of snagging that ball with his hands and finding the end zone and finishing the play. Here's Dave Phipp.
Maybe he'll get some sleep tonight.
Yeah.
He said yesterday he hadn't slept all week in anticipation of trying to stop this Hawaii offense that is so good. Phipp, a walk-on free safety for Dick Tomey at the University of Arizona. He played on a Desert Swarm defense with Teddy Bruschi back in the mid-90s. And like so many coaches with whom Dick Tomey has worked, Dave Phipp says, I've learned a lot about how to deal with players from Dick Tomey. Says he's magnificent at managing people within the program.
That's the college coaching, the difference between NFL and college coaching. You don't mold men in the NFL. You help mold men in college football.
Strubeck, a knuckleball of a kick. And Hawaii content to cover it. Eric Robinson on the ball near the 22. Here's Rob Stone.
With Todd McShay, Scouts Inc. draft analyst for ESPN, about Lowry, and he felt that Lowry came into the season overhyped. Just 1 year at this level. He's not working against elite receivers, struggles versus those shiftier, quicker receivers. He says he's more of a corner 2 cornerback than a man-to-man guy. McShay has him as a second or third round prospect. Not too bad, but I wonder if Todd's changing his tune tonight.
I don't think he is. I think Dwight's about a second-round player, but he's a smart player and he's a bigger-bodied guy.
Similar pass to the one that got picked off. This one's complete to Jason Rivers, and a little pushing and shoving with Christopher Owens. Well, some of the people we talked to say Christopher Owens is every bit as good as Lowry. Lowry kind of snuck up on people last year, his first year here. For a while, the other teams didn't realize how good he was, particularly how quick he was at reacting to the ball. Dave Phipp said he has unbelievable skills when the ball's in the air at closing and getting to the ball quickly.
And he does, and which was shown. And the other thing is he's a bigger body guy, and he knows his weakness. He works on his technique, and he's become more physical. That's what he's worked on, and he's shown it tonight.
And a man wide open and a nice over-the-shoulder catch. Devon Bess gets Hawaii into San Jose State territory to the 42-yard line. 27 yards. Andrew Ryan, who had an interception in the first half, had the coverage. They've picked off Colt Brennan twice. He's now thrown 8 this year. And obviously conditions not favorable for him tonight, but this is not the kind of performance with a rare opportunity on national TV for Brennan that's going to help a Heisman Trophy candidacy.
No, it's not, but I'll tell you what, he came out and he made a confident throw right there over the corner and in between the safety and the cover 2 look.
Dumps it off inside. The Aloha Polaris, the freshman. He's all the way down to the 24-yard line, an 18-yard gain. Matt Costello, the middle linebacker, made the tackle.
That's the big part of the offense we talked about. That's their running game, is the shovel pass. And if that pass is going to be defended, Matt Costello has to be a factor, but he's got to be a factor about 4 or 5 yards down the field, not 20 yards down the field.
First and 10, Hawaii. They led 14-0. Trying to take the momentum back after a couple of returns for touchdowns by Dwight Lowry. Less than a minute played here in the third quarter. Brennan toward the end zone, intercepted again. Third pick of the night, second by Andrew Ryan. Kealoha Polaris tackled him across the boundary at the 17-yard line. Well, this is turning into an ugly performance now by Brennan. Ordinarily about 70% accurate. He's operating at just over 50% tonight. And he's now thrown 3 interceptions, 2 in a minute and 2 seconds in this half.
Yeah, you see Andrew Ryan right here. They're getting a cover 2 look. They're going to rotate. They're going to drop back to the middle of the field and play center field on a loose man. Excuse me, Andrew Ryan's right here. He's going to come over and just kind of play a hole player to help on those deep in routes, and that's a great job by Andrew Ryan again of finding a receiver, undercutting a route, and making a play. Colt Brennan's got to see that eventually, Sean. He's not picking it up.
An I formation when they went empty backfield much of the first half. But telling Rob Storm we want to try to at least make them think about having to stop the run. James T. Collier, the ball carrier. 2 picks tonight for Andrew Ryan. Brennan had a game earlier this year. He threw 5 interceptions against Idaho. That was early after he had injured his ankle. And he was not 100% in that game.
The one thing I'm seeing, he's not surveying the field. He's starting to lock on a little bit to the receiver. He's got his mind made up, which the run and shoot offense isn't about that. As he's getting the ball, his mind is already made up to where he's throwing the football.
To Frallis, a low throw to the far sideline. He was looking for Collier out of the backfield. To Frallis is 14 out of 26 for just 95 yards passing on the heels of 3 straight 300-yard passing games. First San Jose State quarterback to throw for 300 or more 3 straight games since Ralph Martini in 1990. A nice 3 martini performance by Ralph.
He's got to find a way to get Juravich involved, the leading receiver for the Spartan offense, a good run-after-catch guy.
Frallis looks the other way down the seam and behind his receiver who is open, looking for Jalal Beachman. So a 3 and out on the first possession of the second half for Trefralis.
And the young offensive line is holding up well, but again, Blaze Soares, the blitzing linebacker, had pressure on Trefralis right there and forced him to throw it behind the intended receiver.
Landon Prather the punt for the 4th time. He's averaged 40 yards per kick so far tonight. Cook told me he thinks he has an NFL future. This is a line drive wobbler. It takes a nice bounce for San Jose State and goes out at the 43. That's where Brennan and the Warriors will begin after a 37-yard punt. Adam Trefralis, the quarterback. Steve Morton, the offensive coordinator and offensive line coach on the sideline. Trying to find ways to get the Spartans offense going. They haven't scored tonight. Defense and special teams have done all the scoring for the Spartans. Polaris tackled by Matt Costello at the 50-yard line. A gain of 7 on first down for Hawaii. Tied at 14, 2 minutes and change played second half.
We talked about Dave Phipp, the defensive coordinator, competing with June Jones, the offensive coordinator / head coach. What he's incorporated in tonight's defense is what they call a dime package. Because of the amount of wide receivers, they're playing with 6 defensive backs. They're doing a heck of a job countering the skill positions of the Hawaii receivers.
Brennan out of the gun with a lot of time. Incomplete. In the direction of Ryan Grice-Mullen.
He's been victimized himself a little bit by drop passes. I know he's made some poor decisions as far as interceptions go, but a lot of guys have dropped passes on him tonight too. Just not in sync. Their yin isn't with their yang. They're not just in sync with each other.
Is that Hawaiian?
Tonight it is.
Third down and 2 from midfield. Brennan out of the shotgun. Throws and incomplete. Low throw, and Devon Best couldn't rescue it.
What I'm talking about as far as drops tonight, you see Rivers right there, drops the touchdown pass. Devon, normally sure-handed. Rivers again. These balls are on time and on target, and these wide receivers for Hawaii normally make those catches. Even though the ball's thrown low, as a Division I wide receiver, catch the ball.
So Tim Grasso will punt. Lowry's already returned to punt 84 yards for their first score tonight. High hanging kick that hits around the 1 and skips into the end zone and through it. 49-yard punt. Monday night at 8:30 on ESPN, the New York Giants are on a roll. And Plaxico Burress refuses to be affected by an injured ankle. He and Eli Manning have found a comfort level with each other. They've allowed the Giants to perform well in recent games. The Giants and the Atlanta Falcons. Monday Night Football, 8:30 on ESPN. And Eli Manning putting up nice numbers during the winning streak. But to me, the key of their season, they really are adjusting to Steve Spagnuolo's new defense. He came over to coordinate from the Philadelphia Eagles, put in that blitzing style, and boy, is it starting to work well.
And the guys are grasping, plus they're able to run the ball with Jacobs and Ward.
Quick completion out to Kevin Juravich, and he was chopped down immediately. A 4-yard gain. Gerard Lewis made the tackle.
That's the guy they have to get involved in the ball game is Juravich, the leading receiver we mentioned last series, that he is effective after catching the ball. And really an amazing transition. As you mentioned, Sean, safety last year, wide receiver this year.
Safety last year, wasn't even sure he wanted to be on the team. On 2nd down and 6. Run inside by James T. Callier, and Solomon Elamimian made the tackle.
Coached by Kenny Marjoram, the former Stanford Cardinal and Chicago Bear, the Super Bowl Bears of '85. Kenny does a great job. Just the way these guys have learned and picked up for the inexperience that they've had coming into this year.
There's a lot of NFL experience on both of these coaching staffs. Third down and 5. 14 all to score. And a juggle, then an incomplete pass. Collier in the flat, couldn't handle it with Lewis closing in quickly. So 2 possessions against Greg McMackin's defense and 2 3-and-outs. He says that's what we are supposed to do. They want a defense at Hawaii that matches the offense. It's a quick score offense. They want quick change when they're on defense. We attack, we try to get sacks, we try to get turnovers, and occasionally we give a big play, we get the ball back to our offense, they'll cover it up for us.
And they're getting pretty close. Again, even stat-wise, 27th in the country coming in, and haven't given up the touchdown tonight.
Greg McMackin was out of coaching last year after having a knee replacement. Taught a class at Texas Tech, philosophies of coaching. Best the return. Miles Eden the tackle. 48-yard punt, 3-yard return. Some of the action over the weekend, the big one in the Big 12. Missouri undefeated at Oklahoma, once beaten, but a lot of people think they'll be back in the BCS National Championship picture before it's all said and done. They better win tomorrow if that's going to be the case. They certainly cannot afford a second loss against Chase Daniel, who certainly has emerged as a Heisman Trophy candidate.
Yeah, I have Oklahoma as the best one-loss team right now in the country. We saw them earlier. They're balanced everywhere.
We both like Oklahoma in that one. Rivers the catch, spins and gets the first down. Out across the 40 to the 44-yard line. And Missouri looked very impressive in their rout last weekend of Nebraska.
That's something that's a little bit surprising to me. You're into the Big 12 and you're fighting your rear ends off, and they came out and made a statement in that game. That momentum can help them going into Norman, which is a difficult place to play against a wealth of talent for the Sooners.
8th catch for Rivers. Polaris did well to hang on to the ball with a couple of Spartans tugging at it. Gain of about 4. That last completion got Brennan over 300 yards passing to 301. That's still 69 below his average for the season.
You talk about Colt Brennan, NFL, this, that. Sean, nothing's wrong with him physically. He just has to learn from tonight at least to recognize the coverages, because Dave Phipp has done a good job of confusing him, because most of his interceptions tonight have been mental errors, not physical errors.
He put his name in for the NFL draft after the last season. Did the paperwork. Polaris cannot turn the corner. Excellent play by Matt Costello. Their fine middle linebacker, former walk-on. Colt Brennan said at the last minute he just felt like there was more to accomplish at Hawaii, both on and off the field. You know, he thinks he can get bigger, stronger, better this year, have a chance to have a historic season for the program. But also he says, I like the person I'm becoming off the field. He's very comfortable in Hawaii with the culture and the surroundings.
And that's probably a lot to do, again, with June Jones. And as a college coach, as we mentioned, you got a chance to mold young men, and June has been molding Colt into a fine young man.
3rd down and 5. The crowd's alive, but quieted on the catch. Bess or Grice-Mullens made the catch. Nice grab by Ryan. All kinds of records set. And the next touchdown that he's responsible for will set the record for most touchdowns throwing or rushing combined in 3 seasons. He shares that one with Ty Detmer. Almost came to San Jose State out of junior college. He was at Saddleback here in California. And his cousin, Brent Brennan, is the recruiting coordinator here at San Jose State. They offered him a scholarship. Colt thought he was going to take it. Then the scholarship offer was pulled back for a while. In the interim, June Jones invited him to walk on at Hawaii. That shovel pass almost intercepted. He threw it right into traffic. Carly Nacho looked like he had the best shot at it. And his brother Duke wasn't too far away either.
Yeah, this would have been a 6th interception right there. Tough catch for the defensive lineman coming in there like a knuckleball. Yeah, the opportunity to make a play. Just to go on your point about Colt Brennan and San Jose State, we asked Adam Tafralis yesterday, what if Colt Brennan would have came here? And Adam said, it wouldn't matter. I would have beat him out. I love that.
Yeah, and he meant it.
He did mean it.
Tafralis has all the respect in the world for Colt Brennan, but he felt like with the two of them both here competing against each other, he would have beaten out Brennan for the starting job. 2nd and 10, 8.5 to go, 3rd quarter, in a tie game. Bess trying to hurdle the defenders, could not get up and over. Duke Iheanacho. 7-yard gain.
Bess is down after that hit. One of the things Bess does do well, or does best, is run after the catch, and San Jose State's defense has done a nice job of the underneath routes coming up and eliminating yards after catch with good tackling. Owens, Iheanacho coming in.
And Bess on his feet for a moment. Now stretching.
Anytime you see that type of movement, usually indicates leg cramping, which is a good sign as opposed to any type of pull or strain.
We talked with Bess yesterday. He was so thankful for the opportunity he got coming out of the detention facility. And he said when Colt Brennan arrived, he immediately tried to make Brennan comfortable. After their first day of workouts, he told Colt Brennan, I'm having some people over in my apartment, not far from here. Brennan arrived, and they spent about an hour and a half on the porch of Bess's apartment, talking mostly about life. They both had some problems off the field. Both welcomed the opportunity to be at Hawaii for a second chance. And they formed almost an immediate bond. They've become the best of friends. And you have to think that helps them in some ways on the field as well to have that kind of great chemistry.
Oh, I think that's one of the most underestimated things there is about the bond between quarterbacks and receivers off the field, because they end up working with each other, not only in the weight room, but they'll do 7-on-7. But they know each other, and they want to play for each other. Bess has certainly been a plus for Colt Brennan in his career.
Devon's mom concerned, understandably so. And he's up on his feet now. Wonder if that's just a cramp with the way he's walking off. Devon Bess out of Skyline High School in Oakland.
He tells Mama if he's walking off without assistance, that's usually the indicator it's a cramp, so she can relax. He'll be back in there and get some fluids in him.
He's walking off, but very slowly. Michael Washington has come in to take his place. And he walks off with just over 8 minutes left in the third quarter in a tie game. Walking a lot better once he got to the sideline, it seemed. 3rd and 3. Brennan with all day, and now he's going to run, and he slid short of the yellow line. You wonder if he slipped a little bit, but it almost, to me, Chris, looked like an intentional slide that perhaps he just lost track of where he was relative to the first down marker. He didn't get it.
And I think he was trying to make a cutback, and he cut off the wrong foot. He cut off his right foot. You want to plant with that outside foot, and you'll see that caused the slip. He was just going. He knows where the first down marker is. Take a look here. I don't think it was an intentional slide. He sees that first down marker. Yeah, you see that right foot caught it. You're going to plant with that outside foot to bring it inside to keep your balance.
Timeout called by Hawaii to discuss this fourth down play. 4th and a little less than a yard for the Warriors when we come back.
Eli Manning, Plaxico Burress, and the G-Men defense roll into Atlanta.
ESPN's College Football Primetime, brought to you by Liberty Mutual, responsibility, what's your policy, and Monster.com. Go to Monster today and find the job that works for you.
Sean McDonough with Chris Spielman and Rob Stone at Spartan Stadium in San Jose, tied at 14. Hawaii and San Jose State midway through the third quarter. And a 4th and 1 for Hawaii at the San Jose State 34.
The last time they snuck it, Sean.
And Brennan keeps, and if he got it, it wasn't by very much. Defense saying they have held, where the officials are running right along that yellow line. They spotted on that yellow line. It'll be a first down in all likelihood. It isn't always 100% accurate, but it's about as close as it can be.
Again, a lot depends on whether it's the right foot or the left foot spot.
Yeah, they didn't give him a great spot.
Like San Jose got the right-footed spot.
Yeah, if our yellow line is spot on, as it almost always is, I think that's going to be a first down for Dick Tomey. And the Spartans will take over on downs. Keith Burns, one of the assistant coaches, former head coach Tulsa in the background.
It was a huge stop. Again, they weren't able to change the line of scrimmage.
They didn't get it. San Jose State takes over on downs.
Level San Jose State won the battle. The offensive line got no push on the front 7 of San Jose State. They got on there, dug their heels in, no footing, stopped short.
Well, the Spartan squad liked it. Dick Tomey talks about building a program, and one of the things that he has done is made many appearances on campus, going to the student union building, the dormitories, talking to students, trying to encourage them to come to the games, bring their friends. And this is one of the programs that's seen an upsurge in attendance on a percentage basis in the last couple of years with the success of the Spartans. And one of their big plays of the night right there, a bullet. Brian Elledge, the tight end, a 23-yard aerial from Tafralis. And a first down for San Jose State to the Hawaii 42 as the Spartans try to take their first lead of the night.
Yeah, this is the confident throw, and Elledge sits in between the zone and cover 2. Linebacker doesn't take him, and I loved how he protected the football with both hands. No way he was giving that thing up.
That was the biggest play of the night for the offense for San Jose State. Tafralis one-on-one, and bodies fly. They slipped and fell. There is a flag. David Richmond and Gerard Lewis got tangled. Lewis had great position, but when they put the brakes on, they slipped and fell. Tough to tell which player took down the other, but it's going to be Lewis, it seems.
On the defense, continue.
Ball for the pass interference and first down for the Spartans.
And we talked about it all night. I wonder if the field conditions cause this penalty. He's got good position. No, you got to look back for the football. Right there, he's in great position. Get off of him. You don't need to do that.
Well,
but it looks to
help.
me,
Richmond, as he started to slip, grabbed a hold of the shoulder pad of Lewis and kind of yanked him down too.
Good vision, Sean. You're right. But the fact that he didn't look back might have hurt him in the official's eyes.
Richmond's a former basketball standout. Originally, he was going to go to Arizona State to play basketball. Didn't qualify academically. Went to junior college. The football coach saw him, said, "You look like an athlete who never played football before." Not in high school. To the end zone, and that is almost intercepted. Richmond again, the intended receiver. And excellent coverage by Myron Newberry. David Richmond had never played football in his life. Got to junior college. The football coach just saw him walking around and said, "You look like an athlete. Come play football." He played wide receiver 2 years. The first year he caught 1 ball. Last year he caught 54 in junior college at Santa Ana. And became a scholarship football player, highly recruited out of JC.
I think basketball players, Sean, are the greatest athletes in the world. And I just look at LeBron James. I think, wouldn't he be a nice little target to throw outside, too?
I think soccer players are the best. That's what Rob Stone tells me. 2nd and 10. Tafralis moves under center. At the 28 of Hawaii. Quick hitter up the middle. And he changed the play. It was successfully so. Jacob French for about 8. Here's Reese Davis, the Sports Center 30-30.
All right, Sean, the Red Sox are 2 outs away from taking a 1-0 lead in the American League Championship Series. Up on Cleveland 10-3. Mike Lowell had a big hit, ground rule double with the bases loaded in the 3rd. All games on ESPN Radio. Arizona and Colorado, that started as well in the National League Championship Series Game 2. Colorado's up there. Flyers' Jesse Boler-Reese suspended 25 games for the cross-check hit on Ryan Kelser of Vancouver. More on those stories on SportsCenter after the game. Stay current, ESPN News.
And a big story, the number 16 team in the country, undefeated Hawaii, tied at 14. 6 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. 3rd and 4. Tafralis using his powerful frame. A run for a first down. He's very strong, a very hard worker, and the offensive coordinator, Marcus Arroyo, said he might be the toughest player they have on their team as well.
Here's what they're doing. They're putting an offensive tackle over to tight end position. They're putting Elledge at the weak side tackle, the tight end, and they're able to get more beef over to the side that they're running. They're putting a young freshman over there in Colodo. They're doing a good job of scheming.
Nice wrinkle by Arroyo. Co-coordinator is Steve Morton. Marcus Arroyo, just 27 years old, the youngest coach in the country with the title of coordinator or co-coordinator. He was the quarterback here just a few years ago. He and Tafralis were teammates. Toward the end zone. Caught. Touchdown, San Jose State. Kevin Juravich. touchdown for the offense tonight for the Spartans. They've scored on defense, they've scored on special teams, and now the offense to Pralis, a 16-yard strike to Jurovic.
Well, to me, it's a missed coverage right there. You're expecting Kailile Opo to go out there and take a wide receiver on a route. Your corner abandons and works back to the middle of the field. Either miscommunication in coverage or, frankly, a poor coverage call.
The previous play is under review.
And they want to make sure that Jurovic got in the end zone, but it looked like he did as he backpedaled near the pylon. That's a touchdown. Yes, there might be some question as to whether or not he was juggling it. He clearly went into the end zone before he went out of bounds, don't you think? I guess the question is, did he have possession? Or is that ball wobbling around a little bit on his hip?
Ooh. I'll tell you, I can see how it could be overruled.
Well, they were ready to make a call, and then they saw that last replay and summoned the referee back to the telephone. It seems as if maybe they've reviewed the review in the replay booth. Drew George leading this whack officiating crew. Does he have possession? Because it never really tucked it. That ball's loose there. But does he get his arm under it? And even if he does, by the time he does, is he out of bounds? Well, that doesn't look like possession there as he's going across the boundary.
The only thing you can't tell if that right hand has security around the ball. You see there it does. Brad Kaliamoku does a good job of not quitting on the play and trying to rake that ball out of there with his right hand, and he might have did enough to get it out of there.
Well, the ruling on the field was a catch and a touchdown, so it has to be conclusive. You think it was conclusive?
Just the fact that I'm stalling, yeah, it's not conclusive.
After review, the call on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
And confirmed means that the replay demonstrated the call was conclusively correct. I'm not sure that's true. I think the language really should have indicated there wasn't anything that was confirming it the other way.
Well, the fact that you asked me, Sean, and I stalled, that was it right there.
These extra points are important, and they have not been a gimme for San Jose State this year. They've had trouble in the kicking game. This is their backup kicker, and Will Johnson sends it right through the middle. So 21 unanswered points. Marcus Arroyo's offense, which has scuffled for a lot of the year, finally on the score sheet, and it's a 7-point lead for the Spartans. We talked at the top of the telecast, so much in play here tonight. It's a very important game. Both these teams are undefeated in the WAC standings, among a couple of others. Hawaii playing for pole position, with the talk at least about the possibility of an unbeaten season and a berth in a BCS Bowl bid. Colt Brennan, a Heisman Trophy candidate. A lot at play here tonight.
Well, there is, and it's on national TV, and obviously it's not going the way Hawaii wants it to go, especially for Colt Brennan. But the score, this is a team that is taking benefit of the field conditions. San Jose State's hanging in there, and they're going to fight till the end.
And somebody who is paying attention to all of those storylines is our colleague, Chris Fowler, host of College Game Day every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. He joins us on the telephone from Norman, Oklahoma, where they'll have the show tomorrow in advance of the Missouri-Oklahoma game. Chris, thanks for joining us tonight. How are you?
Oh, great, Sean and Chris. Just, grinding away, burning the midnight oil, preparing for game day, enjoying the show. It's very obvious you don't swagger into Spartan Stadium on a Friday night and expect to smack around San Jose at this point.
Well, they're 10-1 at home in their last 11 home games, are the Spartans. And a kickoff down to the 20-yard line. Malcolm Lane out of bounds at the 34-yard line. Well, let's start with the Heisman situation. Colt Brennan certainly a candidate. He finished 6th in the voting last year. ESPN.com panel of experts right now has Darren McFadden of Arkansas the favorite, with Matt Ryan of Boston College close behind. How do you see it right now, Chris?
Well, I think McFadden and Jackson are certainly the two best players. Matt Ryan has to keep Boston College undefeated. Andre Woodson, if he could somehow beat LSU. I think Brian Brown's out of it there. If Chase Daniel can pull an upset from Missouri at Oklahoma, he kind of joins the conversation. I think Colt Brennan's a terrific quarterback, guys. I've seen him ever since he was at Colorado, where he began his career. I think he's got a big future. I just don't think he's a Heisman candidate right now. He's very much on the fringe, missing the game with injuries, coming back. He's obviously pressing tonight, throwing into 3 and 4 deep coverage, trying to make plays as he comes back from the injury. And I think he should stop worrying about that and start focusing on making smart reads and getting his team out of here with a victory and keeping alive the dream of an undefeated season and a BCS bid.
Jason Rivers the catch as Hawaii tries to battle back, trailing for the first time in the game now. They're across midfield to the 48-yard line of San Jose State, under 5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Chris, when you look at Colt Brennan and look at Brian Brown, of all the quarterbacks that you've seen, which guy stands out to you as a total package as far as quarterbacks that are up for the Heisman?
Well, I think Brian Brown is the total package. I think he's had a disappointing year, but he's not playing defense. That doesn't diminish what he's done this year. I think a guy who's playing very well, and the comparison can be made to Brennan, is Graham Harrell at Texas Tech. Again, he gets the knock of being a, quote, system quarterback. But, guys, when you hear that, what that really means to me is that he makes the right decisions, he makes the right checks, he gets his team into plays, he makes the throws where they need to go, and moves the team down the field and is very productive. That's what a great system quarterback does, and there's no disgrace in operating your system well. And to me, Graham Harrell is just having a much better year than Brennan. I mean, it's hard to ignore what he's done at Texas Tech against a little bit better competition, and if he can keep that up, I know that we're used to seeing Red Raider quarterbacks put up huge numbers, but he's a very impressive quarterback, Harrell.
On 3rd down and 2, Brennan had a lot of time, lost it a bit too far for Rivers, off his hands and incomplete. Jonathan Harris had the coverage. It'll be 4th down at the San Jose State 46-yard line, 4th and a long 2, and we'll see what June Jones elects to do.
This is one where I thought on the short yardage, Colt Brennan could go ahead and tuck that ball and run, as opposed to trying to hit the home run, get the play with your feet, and live to fight another down.
We'll give credit to the San Jose State defense. They hold, and June Jones, who ordinarily would go for 4th downs quite regularly, he's going to punt on 4th and 2 and plus field position. Grasso hangs it up high. Lowry the fair catch at the 12. 34-yard punt. Chris Fowler joins us on the telephone, looking at projected BCS standings. And I'm sure you guys will talk a lot more about this on the telecast tomorrow. Hawaii right now at number 20. How have you viewed them, Chris, given that they really have played arguably the weakest schedule in the top level of college football this year?
I've really been conservative in my judgment of Hawaii, guys. I didn't have them ranked for most of the year. I did pop them into my AP ballot at 24 this week, but just because some teams down near the bottom of the poll lost, I was searching around. I mean, out of the 11 undefeated teams, I have Hawaii ranked 10th among those 11. UConn unranked, of course, but they really have to do a lot more proving it to me. I watched the Louisiana Tech game. They were very lucky to escape Ruston, Louisiana in overtime, and having said that, if they can march through, get out of this game, stay undefeated, beat Boise State at home, beat Washington at home, I would certainly have them ranked. I don't know if they'll get high enough to duplicate what Boise State did last year. Remember, Boise State beat Oregon State soundly early in the season to build momentum. Hawaii hasn't had that kind of signature early season win yet, but if they can run the table, they're deserving. I'm conservative about them right now.
Jacob French, a 5-yard reception on first down, and Tafralis throws for a first down. Ball be marked to the 33-yard line. 15-yard gain on the completion of David Richmond. Well, it seems after weeks of debate who should be number one, there's little debate now that it's LSU. Who do you have lined up right after them, Chris?
Well, I've got Cal number 2 like most people over Ohio State, but I remain skeptical about the Bears running the table. I think Cal's got to watch every game. There's a lot of teams up there, Sean and Chris, that are not in the position comfortable of being, the hunted. Teams like Cal, USF, Boston College, they're not used to being ranked this high this soon and having every team come at them and handling the pressure of a high BCS ranking, and it's very tough to do. History tells us. I'm going to be curious to see how they respond in the coming weeks.
James T. Callier, the ball carrier, and Adam Leonard, who's had a big night for the Hawaii defense, dropped the play for a loss of 1.
Hey, Chris, when you look at the one-loss teams, and I don't think it's inconceivable to think that we might have 2 one-loss teams in the national championship game this year, but who is your best one-loss team so far?
Well, Chris, you guys were talking about Oklahoma. I have not seen them yet in person. I was stunned by the loss in Colorado. I think they bounced back against the Texas team that's really struggling right now in a lot of phases, and it was a close ball game. So I want to see how they handle Missouri, and the old Oklahoma teams would have crushed a team like this on their home field. So I'm very curious to see them up close.
Tafralis the bomb, and it goes all the way. Touchdown, Kevin Juravich. He ran away from Myron Newberry, 68 yards. And a 2-touchdown lead now for the San Jose State Spartans.
Wow.
Number 17's a mentally tough kid. And watch this, Juravich right here. Beats the corner inside Newberry. One reason Newberry's expecting safety help, but the safety undercuts, and it's just play catch. And Juravich, once he gets his hands on the ball, can finish with the best of them, 6 for 6.
Well, we wondered how good Hawaii was based on the schedule, but the same is true of San Jose State. Extra point up and good. Adam Tafralis and the offense already with more yards of total offense here in the third quarter than they had in the entire first half. When we look at the San Jose State team, Chris, lost some key players after their 9 wins of a year ago, but the 9 wins elevated the expectation level. They start this year 0-3, but all of them on the road, at Arizona State, at Kansas State, at Stanford. Now they've won 3 in a row, but all of them against weak teams, Utah State, UC Davis, and Idaho. So, we're trying to figure out how good Hawaii is. I think you're trying to figure out how good San Jose State is, too. They look pretty good tonight.
Well, you can make the argument that those tough games have toughened them for conference play as opposed to Hawaii's softer schedule. Maybe that didn't toughen them up for conference play, and right now the tough games seem to be paying dividends for the Spartans.
So much of the focus on Hawaii has been on running the table, getting in the BCS, where Dick Tomey and his team, their focus is, hey, let's be a contender in the WAC. And I think, the old adage about taking it one game at a time, and Hawaii's talked all the right things, saying they're not looking past anybody, but when you have that kind of bigger picture talk lingering in your program, it can't be helpful.
Well, and this is the time where their leadership has to take over, Sean. They do have playmakers, but San Jose State seems to have an answer for the run and shoot, which a lot of people don't have the answer for.
Malcolm Lane has a couple of kickoff returns for touchdowns this year, out to the 33. Well, Chris Fowler, thanks very much. What do you look for in your Missouri-Oklahoma game that you'll see in person there tomorrow?
Well, first I want to say, Brenna's got his work cut out for him, guys. It surprised me. June Jones obviously has lost some confidence in the offense to not go for it on 4th and 2 in plus territory. He should be worried about his defense. I think now, by not going for it down there and giving up the touchdown, it's going to be a tough fourth quarter. So, we'll see if he can do it. I think even if they come back and win, I'd have to think about dropping him out of the rankings again. And again, we talked about focus. These guys are not used to playing in this position with the target as the favorite, and I think you hit on it. They're thinking about bigger goals instead of just getting the W tonight.
Pass incomplete, intended for Rivers. Well, how about game day and the game you have there tomorrow?
Well, we had a lot going on. We're going to talk about all the surprises, where they rank in the history of the sport. We'll talk about more about the BCS rankings, who's overvalued, who's undervalued, and a nice feature on Mark Bradford, the receiver for Stanford, who made the game-winning catch against USC. He's got a tremendous personal story. Should be a lot of fun. I haven't been to Norman in 4 years, and look forward to it. Thanks for joining you guys tonight. I appreciate the time.
Thank you, Chris. We'll look forward to game day tomorrow. It's Chris Fowler joining us from Norman, Oklahoma. How about that run after the catch? Ryan Grice-Mullens across midfield, bouncing after one would-be tackler, after another. Blake Lowry finally got him on the grass. 19 yards and a much-needed first down for Hawaii, which led 14-0. We've seen San Jose State score 28 unanswered points.
And this is the way to get the offense and get that confidence back. Hunsucker has a chance, being the former running back, to hit Grice-Mullens. But this is where Hawaii has to start playing with that sense of urgency, because frankly, Sean, their dreams are on the line. Wake up.
Yeah, there's a lot that can go out of the window here tonight for them. Brennan. Grice-Mullens, 10th catch of the night. Good for 13 more. He's up to 130 yards receiving. Andrew Ryan made the tackle. But first and foremost, you start with the WAC. They're 3-0 atop the WAC. San Jose State is 2-0. That's always generally your first goal, win your league, before you start thinking about bowl games and BCS bowls and Heisman trophies. But that would put them behind the 8 ball in the league. I think a loss tonight would just about wipe Colt Brennan out of the Heisman Trophy candidacy. And goodbye BCS. It could all go flying out right here tonight.
And that's where they got to come together and play under adversity again against Louisiana Tech. They came back from adversity. Can they do it in the second half?
Brennan has it, and it's just a little bit too long for C.J. Hawthorne. Coach Jones says he might be the fastest player on the team, but he wasn't quite fast enough to run under that long one from Colt Brennan.
And that's just been the story all night. I mean, they're just off, whatever reason. Now, Colt Brennan normally will make a throw where that ball just drops into his hands, or his receiver will make the great catch. But for tonight, there's just something that's missing from this.
Well, I really think it's the soggy, natural grass, heavy turf. This offense so dependent upon precision, timing, and execution. That's all you need, is just a little something to throw off your stride.
And that's what it is, Sean. I guarantee you. We'll watch the film. The guys are slipping and sliding all over the place.
2nd and 10. Brennan going for the same man, same spot. Touchdown, Hawaii. C.J. Hawthorne open again, and this time Brennan found him in the back of the end zone.
This is what I love about Colt Brennan. Again, he's struggling. Things aren't going right. He's seeing maybe the dream die, but he's not going to die. Right here again, shuffling, finding the throwing lane, and this time letting the ball drop into the hands of C.J. Hawthorne, who makes the catch for his buddy.
Senior from Gulfport, Mississippi. Brennan with the record. Responsible now for 123 touchdowns in 3 seasons.
Is under review.
We're going to review it. You saw some of the fans on the crowd shot saying incomplete, thinking maybe there wasn't possession for Hawthorne in the back of the end zone. I thought he had it.
Well, again, it looked to me like he had it, and C.J. did a good job of turning and adjusting his hip, getting both hands on the ball. The only question would be, would he have bobbled it? There's the catch. Secure.
Whoa, wobble. Well, I agree. It looks secure there when he hits the ground. Yeah, that's a catch, don't you think?
Well, yeah, if the other one was a catch, that's a catch.
It just looked like when he bounced off the ground, there was just the slightest little wobble there, but yeah, it's a catch.
We're just making sure. Quick answer, going to be confirmed.
After review, Burn, touchdown.
Usually the quicker the referee gets off the phone, generally indicates confirmation.
Or it was so clearly a bad call when he didn't have much time to turn it over. 401 yards passing now for Brennan. 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 31 out of 56. And Dan Kelly remains perfect in PATs this year. What a ball game. With 1:15 to go in the third, Hawaii trying to go to 7-0. Back within a touchdown.
Again, Hawaii is what their nicknames indicate. They are warriors, and they will play till the end.
6-0 for the first time since 1981 when Dick Tomey was their head coach, who's now on the opposite sideline. Here's Rob Stone.
Well, Sean, before that last drive, June Jones called his offense over together for the first time that night. No panic, but enough concern to address them as a unit for the first time. And a couple lines just said, guys, we're just screwing up. Stay together. We're going to win this game. Well, San Jose State went down, scored that long touchdown, had another little conference with them. Same message said, same calmness, same tone, and like you guys had said before, they've been in hot water. They've been in a hole this season. They know how to dig themselves out of it.
When I look at June Jones, and I think back to when he was coaching with the Lions when I was there, I can't recall one time where he ever lost his temper. He's always has that calm mentality. And frankly, the way Colt Brennan has played kind of hot and cold tonight, Colt's reflecting the mentality of his head coach, not panicking and making a play when a play needs to be made.
June Jones played at Hawaii even after he left. Returned there in the off seasons, kept a home there, would work out there in the off seasons when he played in the NFL. And it was Dick Tomey, once June got done playing professional football, who gave June Jones his first coaching job in 1983 at the University of Hawaii as quarterback's coach. Jacob French brings the kickoff back to the 36-yard line. Excellent field position for San Jose State after a 33-yard return. Hawaii struck quickly, just a minute and 17 seconds. They go 67 yards in 5 plays, the touchdown 34 yards from Brennan to Hawthorne.
And that's their ability. And I'll tell you what San Jose State has done. Some of the adjustments at halftime that we talked about, they're starting to take some shots down the field, Sean. And they're getting their big-time receiver, Jurovich, involved. He's a playmaker. You got to get the ball into his hands.
Veteran quarterback in Adam Safralis, the senior, 34th career start tonight. They go back to the empty backfield we saw a lot of in the first half, and David Richmond the catch, the immediate tackle by Myron Newberry. 1 minute to go, third quarter, 7-point lead for the Spartans of San Jose State.
Richmond right there showing why he was a basketball player headed to Arizona State. He got off the ground and got off the ground in a hurry.
Dick Tomey says that's part of building a program. You want to upgrade the usual recruiting, but you also have to be a good evaluator, good projector, when a player develops skills and take advantage of whatever physical abilities he has to become a better football player. He's done that well everywhere he's been as a coach. Good adjustment to that throw behind Richmond to take it to the 39-yard line of Hawaii. 21 more. And you're right about the adjustment. All of a sudden, a lot more deep balls trying to stretch this Hawaii defense.
Yeah, and you'll see the athleticism right here of Richmond. This is very difficult to do. This is a called throw behind because the corner's on top. Watch Richmond turn those hips. It looks easy. He's a great athlete. That's why it looks easy from where we're sitting.
That'll be the final play of the third quarter. San Jose State trailed 14-7 at the half. They now lead by a touchdown as we head to the fourth quarter as they host undefeated Hawaii.
The chase for the NASCAR Nextel Cup is on.
Richard has the snap. He drops back. He's going to throw that lob. Bradford jumps up. He caught it. Touchdown! Touchdown!
Ready. Snap good. The whole kick. Oh! The kick is. Oh! The Mountaineers are going to try to take it back. To the big house. 30, 20, 50. Wow! The Mountaineers have just beat the Michigan Wolverines.
Well, it's been perhaps the biggest story of this college football season. Some tremendous upsets. Hawaii about a 17-point favorite here tonight at San Jose State. Rainbow Warriors have won 10 straight in the WAC. So they trail by a touchdown as we go to the fourth quarter. San Jose on 1st and 10. It's an 8-yard run from Jacob French. They call him Slash. He's played wide receiver, running back, H-back. Young man who walked on here, passed up scholarship offers from Tulsa and UTEP, among others, because he wanted to stay close to home. His grandfather was ailing. He wanted to be near his grandfather, who wound up passing away a couple of days before their bowl win last year in New Mexico.
He's a good, solid player, an excellent out in the wing-back position or slot back, runs good routes for a running back and has solid hands for the running back position.
Shifts out into the slot here as they go to 5 receivers. And Zafralis' pass deflected, and it fell incomplete.
You know, Dick Tomey's done exactly what he said he was going to do coming out of halftime, talking with Rob Stone about doing a nice job of mixing in the run. He knows he's not going to pound this Hawaii defense into the ground, but you run enough to keep him honest, then that opens up the field, down the field, where San Jose State has been successful completing longer passes.
I think on 2nd and 2, that would have been tempted to run the ball. You know, they need to get 2nd and 3rd down to get that 2 yards. Make sure you get the 1st down. Keep the clock moving. Now a 3rd down and 2, and a blitz, and it's dumped off, and this is promising. Collier out of the backfield to the 20-yard line. They'll mark him down to the 19. Gerard Lewis made the tackle, but on 3rd and 2, they get 12, and it's a 1st down.
That's a perfect call against the blitz, and I'll tell you, French thought he was going to get it, but JT said, I'll take it. And it ended up being sort of a busted play, but again, things are starting to go right, and a good read and a good job of throwing off the back foot under pressure by Zafralis. Great call against the right call.
The offensive coach is frustrated. The injuries, the inexperience really caused this offense a lot of problems, but looks like, particularly this offensive line, starting to gel. They're finding a rhythm offensively. French tripped up in the secondary. Brad Kalili-Moku made the tackle. The linebacker. Gain of 9 to the 11-yard line.
There's the Elliman guy that averaged 20 tackles last week. You see Collier getting into his knees and springing French to the secondary. But anytime you give up 1-for-1 for a linebacker, you're in trouble, especially on the fullback. You got to defeat that block and make a play.
2nd and a long one. Nearly 2 to go for a 1st down. And it looks like Collier got it. Lowered his shoulder, took Elimimium with him. 8-yard line, 1st and goal for San Jose State.
This is impressive to see as the physical battle now starting to wear down the very good and deep and talented Warrior defensive line, and you have 5 guys with 3 of them are true freshmen in there battling like there's no tomorrow for the San Jose Spartan offense.
Obviously, any score here would be big, but they're thinking about a touchdown, and they're going to get it. James T. Collier into the end zone from 8 yards out, and it's a 2-score lead again for San Jose State.
They find the short corner. Right here, Mark gets the good lead block. Collier with great vision. One-on-one against Lewis. Frankly, no contest for the big fella.
Another big extra point. Where Will Johnson has taken over and been solid as their starting place kicker tonight. 14-point lead for San Jose State in their home stadium with 12.5 to go.
Only one car lineup offers legendary Hemi power. Music Gate Power Sound System, a MyGig multimedia infotainment system, and more style and performance than ever before. All to help you make the most of every mile. Now get up to $3,500 cash allowance and a lifetime powertrain limited warranty on 2007 Dodge Charger.
Raindrops keep
But let's go. Let's go. Get it up. Hey, let's get it right from the freaking start. Right from the start. Hey, nothing changes. Every week it's on us, and there's no place we'd rather have it. All right. Championship game right here. Let's go. Us hell yeah on 3. 1, 2, 3.
In many ways, this is a championship-type game. The Coach Talk presented by Liberty Mutual. Dennis McKnight, former teammate of Chris Spielman. Regularly confused for Governor Jesse Ventura.
Does an excellent job. And Conan, as he's known to me, is passionate about football, passionate about his kids. Looking a little concerned right there.
Understandably so. His team down by 2 touchdowns. He also coaches the special teams, which have been the best kickoff return outfit in the country. They could use a big one here from Malcolm Lane. And the kicker had to come over to help chop down Malcolm Lane. Christopher Owens making the tackle. The ball will be placed right near the 50-yard line. So nice return by Lane. And excellent field position for this quick strike Hawaii offense. Here's Rob Stone.
Well, Sean, things may have turned around for the Spartans courtesy of one practice. After falling to Stanford 37-0 and falling 0-3 on the season, Dick told me, he said, guys, we have a full pad practice tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. If you're a player and you're not there, you're cut. If you're a coach and you're not there, you're fired. He said, hey, the big thing is these guys came in, didn't feel sorry for themselves, and he wanted them to show up with a smile on their face because they said, after the way we played, I hope those guys couldn't sleep. I don't know how they could sleep with the way we've been playing. I know, Spielman, you've probably been through nights like that. And he said every guy was here on time, early. We could have started the practice at 5:30 or 6 instead of 6:30. Yeah. Since then, unbeaten.
And the leader of that group has been Adam Tafralis. Again, talking to him yesterday, the one thing that never left this team was that winning attitude. And just spending times with him yesterday, you could tell that he's that natural leader and say, get on board, boys. I'll carry you.
And we should point out the morning practice is not unusual. That is standard for them. But to practice the morning after a night game, about 8 hours after you just finished a game, is very unusual. Movement before the snap. The completion of Ryan Grice-Mullens got them to the 37 after a 13-yard gain. These are two of the very few teams in the country that practice in the morning. We mentioned why Hawaii doesn't.
Start. Number 73 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
But Dick Toney says he just thinks it sets up the day better for the coaching staff and for the players. First of all, make sure the players get to bed early the night before, but they get their work in here, then they can head from here to class and have much of the rest of the day for themselves. If they want to come back to football-related activity, even watching films of that day's practice, they can come back in the afternoon and do that on the same day.
Yeah, and it gives them a chance to experience the student-athlete experience by getting football over with in the morning and doing your business, which you have to take care of in the afternoons. I think it's a great idea.
He says he also likes to get his coaches home at a reasonable hour so they can enjoy time with their families before the children go to bed. C.J. Hawthorne had another ball go through his hands. Brennan has been hurt by a number of catchable balls that were not fielded by his receivers tonight. Bold is 32 for 58. For 414 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions.
I don't know if we said it a lot. I'm going to say it again. Even the field affected that route because CJ didn't get his head around because he was slow coming out of his break. The ball was on top of him. His head wasn't around to pick it up.
Brennan into traffic and almost intercepted. Ryan Grice-Mullens actually broke up that play as Christopher Owens had better position. And Lowry does get a lot of the headlines because of those 9 interceptions last year, but I think based on what we've seen tonight, Christopher Owens is every bit as good.
And Christopher Owens could play man-to-man defense, and that's been the biggest reason, along with the field, the success of the Spartan team and Coach Dave Fipp is their ability to match up outside on these talented Hawaii wide receivers. They seem to have an answer for anything that the run and shoot is offering.
Big 3rd and 15. Down by 2 touchdowns, 11 and a half to go. And an inside handoff to Pilaris that did not fool the Spartans. Justin Cole, the defensive end.
I think what June was trying to say, let's pick up about 8 yards here and get in a manageable 4th down that they feel comfortable with.
Well, you wonder if that was an audible because June Jones didn't like it.
No, he wanted it. I believe they were in 2 down territory, so you basically have 2 to get 15 as opposed to 1 to get 15.
Well, he said, what the heck are we doing? Or a close approximation thereof. Timeout with a big 4th down when we come back. After the timeout by Hawaii, June Jones and the Warriors going for this 4th down and 13 from the San Jose State 40-yard line. This Hawaii trails by 2 touchdowns. They're 1 out of 3 on 4th down today.
San Jose State defend the sticks. Make sure that ball's not over your head.
You watch June Jones during the timeout gesturing to Colt Brennan like there's some sort of square in over the middle. And it's incomplete. That's what it was. Cutting across the middle, Ryan Grice-Mullens, but he couldn't come up with it.
This is the shot that Colt Brennan has to make. He's got to give his receiver a catchable ball. They get what they want. The defender, Owens, slips in man-to-man coverage. You see right here, there goes Owens. He's down on the ground with the slip. It wasn't a catchable ball. You got to give him a shot to make the play.
Yeah, you wonder if Owens grabbed a little jersey there from Grice-Mullens. Ryan immediately got up pointing back at him. Looked like there might have been a little tug as Grice-Mullens looked to separate, but no flag. And Hawaii in deep trouble now. All the offense can do is watch as the Spartans take over on downs at their own 40, 11:05 to go. Just 1 timeout left for Hawaii. They come out throwing. Relatively safe pass, and it works well. The Juravich, a good gainer of about 7, and it keeps the clock running.
The other thing that play does is make them two-dimensional. They've been able, as Coach Tomey made it a priority coming out, to run the football. And you get a little screen pass and you get 7 yards on it. 2nd and 3, you got that Warrior defense guessing right now.
On 2nd and 3, French for no gain. Here's Rob Stone.
You guys were talking about the problems Trafalis had handling the ball in the first half. Well, that guy right there is one of the equipment managers, Shane Vernarski. Every single play after it's done, he comes out with a fresh towel to his quarterback to get the hands dry and get the ball dry. And man's putting in some miles.
And a loss on this handoff. The Hawaii defense needed a stop, and they got it. Adam Leonard again with great penetration. Dropping Collier for a 4-yard loss.
Same play they scored the touchdown on. This time they didn't secure the backside. Adam Leonard coming from the backside linebacker position, running down J.T. Collier from behind. He's played a nice game tonight. Very active. Big fella that can move.
Hawaii's won the last 6 between these two schools. They thumped San Jose State last year, 54-17 in Honolulu. One of the 4 losses for the Spartans as they won a surprising 9-4. Raven Prather the punt. Man, excellent coverage. Myron Newberry hit almost immediately. Juravich, the starting wide receiver down there. Kevin made the tackle after a 1-yard return of a 39-yard punt. Flags down near the line of scrimmage.
We'll make him punt it again. Holding on San Jose State's punt team.
Number 57 on the kicking team. That penalty will be assessed from the end of the run. First down.
So the ball will be moved from the 19-yard line out to the 29. And that's where June Jones's offense will begin with 9 minutes to go, down by 14 points after this timeout.
ESPN's College Football Primetime. Brought to you by Dodge. Live life to the fullest. Dodge. Grab life. And ESPN Game Plan. See the most college football every Saturday. To order, call your pay-per-view provider.
Well, we thank all of you who participated tonight in our eBay online auction. Each of us autographed the football, the three announcers on tonight's telecast, and Chris Spielman's ball went for the most money. Of course, I didn't know there was a time limit. I was ready to offer more bribes, but I'm told the bidding has ended.
I pulled the upset off of you, and
I was just about to go. He threw Brandy Chastain at us. I was going to have Matt Damon sign my football.
That would have, yeah.
I think I might have trumped you guys. They told me it's all over.
Or Matt Damon bid on your football.
Colt Brennan. Oh, boy, he just threw that up for grabs, and it's intercepted. Fourth time tonight he's been intercepted. This one by Christopher Owens.
You wonder if that was a miscommunication between quarterback and wide receiver, because Grice-Mullens broke the route off.
It's not even his high interception game of the year. He threw 5 against Idaho. That was his 61st attempt of the night, matching his high for this season and for his career. He threw 61 in their overtime win at Louisiana Tech.
You're going to watch the receivers right here run a switch route. And what happens is you see Grice-Mullens will break up, and Colt Brennan thinks he's going deep. Grice-Mullens set it down, and miscommunication hurts him.
Spartans staying aggressive. Tafralis for a first down to David Richmond into Hawaii territory to the 41-yard line, a gain of 11. Clock will stop to move the chain, so each of the outstanding cornerbacks for San Jose State has an interception tonight. And Andrew Ryan, the safety, has 2. That was one of the strengths of the defense, coordinated by Dave Phipp. They now have 15 interceptions for the year and 12 in the last 4 games. They're looking at a 4-game winning streak.
And they've dropped about 4 of them tonight too, Sean. And I tell you, this is going to be training tape for future Hawaii opponents. They're going to copy Dave Phipp's game plan.
Quick throw and catch. Jurevich pushed out of bounds at the 34, a gain of 7. Lowry and Owens, and there's Dave Phipp, impressive young coach. Said, how much did you weigh when you went to play for Dick Tomey at Arizona? He said, I was about 150 pounds, but he bulked up to about 180 during his playing career. We visited him yesterday. He was back down to about 150. Yeah. I don't think he'd eaten nor slept in a couple of weeks getting ready for this game.
See, it's getting down to crunch ground. Dave was sitting down earlier, studying, seeing what's going on. Now he's standing up, rocking like he's rocking a baby to sleep.
8:19 to go. Still cannot get a ground game of any consequence going. It's been a season-long frustration. Jacob French dropped for a loss. But the clock will run under 8 minutes. And Dick Tomey inching toward the biggest win of his 3-year tenure here at San Jose State. They haven't defeated a ranked team, San Jose State, since 2000, when they beat the TCU team led by LaDainian Tomlinson that was ranked 9th in the country.
He knows how to get a team ready. A guy that's been at the game as long as he has comes in with confidence in every game he coaches.
Look out. Tafralis in the grasp of Adam Leonard, and a late flag thrown. You wonder if it's a roughing the passer. Jacob Potek, the safety, also in there with Leonard.
They're talking about whether the ball was thrown away to nobody.
And it was grounding.
Yeah.
Was thrown by the referee after Tafralis got rid of the ball.
There is no penalty. 42 was in the area. 4th down.
Well, so no grounding. It is an incomplete pass. There's a couple of offensive possessions here where they haven't taken very much time off the clock, Chris, with the big lead.
Exactly, and that's well, they can't because they can't run the ball effectively. Every first down, it's been a screen pass to Juravich. They get to 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 3, and they can't capitalize on it. Good job with the officials, by the way, Sean, getting together to confer to correct the call that was made by the referee.
Some confusion on the San Jose State sideline. I think they want a timeout. They're letting the play clock run down, but why bother? The game clock's not running, so you don't gain anything.
San Jose, their first charge team timeout.
But the game clock wasn't moving. So they didn't really gain unless they wanted a little more time to extend the length of the timeout, I guess. But Dick Tomey's won 4 games at this level than all but 3 active coaches. He's among legendary companies, so he doesn't need to tell us how long it takes to call a timeout. And, again, I think he's one of those guys, because he hasn't always coached in marquee programs, who hasn't gotten enough credit. You can see tonight what a well-coached team this San Jose State team is, and he came into a program a couple of years ago at age 67 where there was a lot of talk around here they might drop football or go down in classification to 1AA.
Well, you have to have a coach that has vision, and Coach Tomey saw the vision here of what San Jose State football can be, and it's not an accident that 98 players out of the 101 or whatever are from the state of California, and there are great players in California, but it takes a lot of work to go find them and have the ability to project down the line how good these guys can be. When you're talking about a guy like Jacob French, a walk-on kid that's so valuable. Castillo, the linebacker, was a walk-on kid from here in San Jose.
Dick Tomey told us yesterday Bill Walsh had a lot to do with his coming here to San Jose State. The late, great Bill Walsh was a San Jose State grad and very interested in the program. He told Dick Tomey he could win here, and he convinced the administration here that Dick Tomey would be a great hire. And everybody's happy the way it's gone. Well done by Prather, 33-yard punt. Of course, Bill Walsh in their retired numbers. Dick Vermeil also played here. This school produced 2 coaches who went on to win Super Bowls.
Well, just a great tradition here of coaching. And interesting, Coach Tomey actually coached in the NFL with the San Francisco 49ers for 1 year. Frankly, he was happy to get back to college football because he enjoys working with the kids and molding the young men.
They said there were too many games in the NFL. In the regular season, the preseason, and you want to play extra games in the playoffs. You want to play about 24 games. Hawaii comes out throwing, and then a late flag thrown at the end of the play. A 13-yard completion, Brennan to Bess, and Dwight Lowry the tackle, and perhaps a hit out of bounds.
Plus, he enjoys recruiting. You better enjoy recruiting if you're a college football coach.
You don't always hear that, though.
Dead ball, personal foul on the defense, 35, 15 yards from the end of the run, automatic first down.
Yeah, Costello called for the penalty. And for a lot of college coaches, recruiting is a very important, maybe the most important part of it, but it's a necessary evil, not something they necessarily enjoy. Yeah, that was really unnecessary from Costello, who's a lot smarter than that. So Hawaii certainly capable of scoring twice very quickly. San Jose State, these last 2 possessions, did not do a very good job taking time off the clock. Brennan sacked for the 3rd time tonight. Dave Phipp talked about how hard it is to sack him. And this offense has been played by Hawaii a long time, successfully so. Top 5 in the country in passing each of the last 8 years under June Jones. And Dave Phipp said, hey, everybody's tried everything. If there was an obvious answer to how to stop them, somebody would be doing it. You just try to slow them down. He's done a lot better than slow them down tonight. The rain and the field conditions help, but they've also played very well.
He absolutely has. And I'm telling you, Sean, you watch. This film is going to go around to future Hawaii opponents, and it's going to be training ground to see what Dave Phipp's done.
Constitution violation on the offense, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
But what do you think in particular? They've done a lot of different things tonight. What do you think of the things that future Hawaii opponents are most likely to glean from this?
Well, first of all, they have 2 corners that can match up and play man-to-man. They've done a good job of showing man and playing what they call a press bail technique, where they'll get up on the line, they'll show like they're going to play tight coverage, and they bail out of there with free safety help. The other thing they've been able to do is tackle the ball and eliminate the run after catch.
Brennan throws. Apparently the knee did not go down. Ryan Grice-Mullens finally down at the 37, but short of a first down, and the clock runs. 6:20 to go. Here's Reese Davis with a Sports Center 30 at 30 update.
All right, Sean, the Red Sox have a 1-0 lead in the ALCS. Josh Beckett getting the victory, and CC Sabathia got roughed up. He gave up 8 earned runs, tying the most in Game 1 of any series in postseason history. 10-3 was the final in Game 1 there. Game 2 of the National League Championship Series is underway. Arizona and Colorado are tied at 1. All LCS games on ESPN. Radio Dan Shulman and Dave Campbell with the NLCS call. Guys?
All right, Colt Brennan on target. Jason Rivers first down to the San Jose State 40-yard line. Not a lot of life in the step of the Warriors right now. They took a long time in the huddle with the clock running. And there's a roughing the passer penalty here at the end of it, called against Adonis Davis. So they'll tack 15 onto the end and wind up at the 25-yard line.
See right here, Colt Brennan again, patient.
Oh, my goodness.
Smart. Got to be a smart football player. You're adding 15 to that, and believe me, this offense doesn't need any help. You pointed out, they're a quick strike offense. There's 5:44 to go. It's lifetime of football left for the Warriors.
30 yards of late hits from Dick Tomey's defense here. And if they think this one's in the win column already, they better think again. Over 5.5 to go. Highest scoring team in the country with the ball. Brennan under duress and sacked by Justin Willis.
Coming out of halftime, Dick Tomey said 3 things. We got to be able to run the football just out of interest. We got to win the kicking game, which they've done. And finally, this last thing is getting pressure on the quarterback. And it looked like they tried to set up a screen because Estes, the center, let Davis go. And Colt Brennan couldn't find a receiver. Davis is able to finish.
4th sack of the night for San Jose State. An 11-yard loss. And now movement on both sides of the ball.
Offsides, number 93 on the defense. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Justin Cole.
Good job of Hawaii going to hard count, capitalizing and trying to take advantage of the excitement that each pass rusher is feeling for San Jose State.
Devon Bess hit hard by Owens with Lowry running on his hip. Short of a first down. But Bess advanced the ball inside the 20, and now the clock is stopped. An injured player on the field for San Jose State. 12-yard gain. Jonathan Harris.
See Lowry coming in to secure the tackle. Jonathan Harris. Ooh. And that's helping your buddy out.
Ryan Grice-Mullens with the block.
And you're pretty defenseless in those. I've taken my shots of those, and that's part of football, though. You get your head on a swivel, and Grice-Mullens doing a job what all receivers should do, coming back and trying to spring Devon Bess for a big play.
As you talk about building a program and evaluating players, Jonathan Harris was up at junior college at College of San Mateo, and these San Jose State coaches found him while they were looking at video of another player. Dave Phipps saw Harris on the tape, liked him, looked into him. Here he is, a key member of their defense. 4:25 to go in San Jose. The Spartans leading Hawaii by 14.
Only one car lineup offers legendary Hemi power. Music 8-gate power sound system, a MyGig multimedia infotainment system, and more style and performance than ever before. All to help you make the most of every mile. Now get up to $3,500 cash allowance and a lifetime powertrain limited warranty on
Colt Brennan's thrown for 475. 3 of his receivers have over 100 yards receiving, but Hawaii trails by 14. 4:25 remaining. The clock running now after Harris walked off the field under his own power. 3rd down and 4, Hawaii. They convert. Devon Bess to the 12-yard line. Dwight Lowry dragged him down. With help from Austin Carter. 7-yard gain.
You think about it, Hawaii's got to get in out of that huddle as the time starts clicking. We're coming on under the 4-minute mark. There's got to be a little bit more sense of urgency.
Brennan has a man open, and it is caught. Wow, what a catch by Bess. Well, June Jones told us that Bess has made some of the most amazing catches he's ever seen. That should have been an easy one because he was wide open, but the usually pinpoint accurate Colt Brennan made it a tough catch, and he made it with one hand.
Just the fact that one hand, yes, but the ability to get the feet in bounds, and any league that's good with 2 feet in bounds.
It's going to be another review. That's a touchdown. Possession, foot in. Devon Bess. It has not been a happy homecoming for his team to this point, but this gets them right back in the game with a long way to go.
You know, you think, I know you want to make sure, but there's got to be a point, maybe sometime, where you say, you know, I know what I saw.
Yeah. It's like they're a little gun shy to trust sometimes what they see. You know, the other 2, though, in fairness, were worthy of review. That one seemed to be pretty clear-cut on the very first replay.
And I can see the comparisons as June Jones has made to Andre Rison on Devon Bess. Coming up with an All-American type play.
11 catches for Bess tonight, 137 yards. That's his first touchdown. 36th career touchdown receptions. He leads all active players around the country in that category. 237 career receptions. For his career, he's averaged over 7 catches per game.
After review, the play on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
If you look at Devon Bess and this Hawaii offense, again, we talk about it all game, their quick strike ability, and then Colt Brennan's certainly not shy about winging, slinging the rock open on open. But San Jose State's offense now has to do something to keep that clock moving, to keep this powerful offense off the field on this next possession.
San Jose State with back-to-back offensive possessions took little time off the clock. And here on defense, they really helped the Hawaii drive with 2 personal foul penalties. It's a 7-point game after Dan Kelly's extra point. Still 3:54 and a Hawaii timeout left. Here's Rob Stone.
Well, Sean, that one timeout left is a big point because during that break of the review, June Jones and about 3 or 4 of his staff members had a conversation on how to address this kickoff. And a debate between should we kick it off, should we kick it deep, can the defense hold them? I could not quite extrapolate what they decided here, but 3:53, one timeout left. Spielman, what would you do, buddy?
Well, considering you're going to have a hard time getting a high bounce on the outside kick because of the soft field conditions, you absolutely kick it deep. You know your defense has been successful. You know what San Jose State's going to do. And with your ability to score quickly, you kick it deep. You put the ball in the hands of your All-American candidate, your Heisman Trophy candidate, let him win it for you in the end. Or tie it for you.
Yeah, I think there's way too much time. The one timeout is a concern, but there's a lot of time. And this is a San Jose offense that has struggled almost all season long. 35 points tonight, that's double their average. They came in averaging 17 points per game, 115th in the nation out of 119 in scoring. And they're third from the bottom in rushing offense, and that's what they would likely be trying to do, at least in part, to run some time. And they do kick it deep. And Jacob French with a nice hole brought it out to the 40-yard line. So the Hawaii special teams, the best that June Jones has ever had, he told us the other day, have not been stellar tonight. Giving up a punt return for a score. And that was a very important long kickoff return of 28 yards by French after a relatively short kick.
Yeah, because of the field position that's been created. If you get a tackle inside the 30, obviously you have a shorter field to work with. Now San Jose State, even though if they don't progress the ball down the field, outstanding punter can back Hawaii up.
I wonder if they'll go to a short possession passing game. That seems to be more effective for them than the running game. Or at least take a shot on the run. A fullback up the middle, and it's effective. Collier gets 5. David Vekune made the tackle, the defensive end. And the clock will run under 3.5 minutes remaining.
That's too many yards right there. I mean, you're over there. You're playing defense for a while. You got to say, buckle up, boys. They're going to come inside, stack that line of scrimmage, and force them to throw the ball. 5 yards when you're trying to run the clock or stop the clock. Too much.
12 carries, 31 yards for Collier. San Jose State has been trying to establish the run all year. They haven't been able to do it. Can they do it now with one of the big wins in recent school history? On the line, Collier not only couldn't run it, he fumbled, and Adam Leonard has it at the 45-yard line. Ray Soares helped knock it out, and Leonard has been in the right spot all night with the recovery for the Warriors at the 45.
Well, you give the ball to Collier, which is a good call. He's been a tough, hard runner all night. But when you hear helmets pop, and it looks like Collier has a good grip on the ball, both hands are on the football. He's trying to protect it. Blaze Soares comes in, helmet on, football, ball loose. Leonard, who's been all over the field, running to the football, hustling, is able to convert the recovery.
First lost fumble for San Jose State this year in their 7th game of the year. And what a time to have it happen with just under 3 minutes to go on the verge of a huge upset. And now gashing them on the run, Polaris. Nearly 10 yards. Tackled by Matt Costello. Looks like it is 10. The ball on the yellow line, and they move it across it for a first down.
The other thing during that last possession, Hawaii was able to preserve their last timeout, which could play an important role as they drive down the field to tie it up.
Yeah, they have an eternity now. Even without a timeout, they'd be in great shape as quickly as they ordinarily move. Brennan to the sideline, out of bounds with 9 more. Jason Rivers. His 9th catch of the night.
You understand Hawaii's been in this position in the league, on the road, fighting from behind against Louisiana Tech, and they were able to come out victorious. And this is Cole Brennan can define his legacy right here. Tough night, yet he's still throwing darts.
Second and 1 at the San Jose State 26. Down by 7. Brennan is sacked. 5th time tonight. He'd been sacked only 9 times all year in 6 games. But Carly Anacho has the 5th sack of this night for San Jose State.
See him right here and see what kind of move he does on Asun. Right here, he hits him with a push and a nice little jerk and is able to come. Only if he would have came to the club harder, that ball might have popped up.
Huge play. And 2nd and 1, back to 3rd and a long 5. Brennan zips one, first down to the 20-yard line. Clock will stop to move the chains. Ryan Grice-Mullens with the catch. 10-yard gain. 12th catch of the night for Grice-Mullens for 154 yards. again with a lot of time, running out of it now. He's going to take off and run. Stays inbounds and goes down at the 14-yard line.
That's one of the things Cole Brennan can do as well as anybody, even on a bum angle. He is a tough kid, Sean. Thought maybe he should have tried to head out of bounds so you wouldn't have to rush. You have time to think about the play you want to call.
Well, Dick Tony said he was impressed watching Brennan. He is a courageous and effective runner. You saw June Jones telling Brennan plenty of time. They're taking their time. A minute to go. One timeout left. 2nd and 4. Brennan under duress. Throws toward the end zone. Incomplete. Uncatchable pass. June Jones wanted a flag. You got to be kidding me, he says. Lowry had the coverage. Looked from here like he took down Best, but it also looked like it was going to be well over his head anyway.
Well, it looked like it was going to be over his head, but we saw Best make an impossible catch on the back corner of the end zone. I know he had to throw wings to be Superman. Incidental trip. It didn't grab him or lock his legs at him. They tripped over each other's feet. Good call by the officials.
Well, he did try to grab him with his arms at first. He didn't get him. It looks like he was playing two-hand touch. 50 seconds to go. The play clock is running. It has run out. The officials have stopped the play. And they will likely reset the play clock. And they have. 3rd down and 4. Obviously 4-down territory here. 4-man rush. Brennan throws. First down. Will it be more? Yes, it will, but not a touchdown. It goes to the 2. C.J. Hawthorne. Clock stops to move the chains. 42 seconds to go. 12-yard gain on the completion of the senior from Gulfport, Mississippi.
It's still one timeout left, so obviously the running play is in play here.
Hawaii down by 14 moments ago. Scored. Got a turnover. Trying to tie it now. They led by 14 early. Brennan keeps it. Touchdown, Hawaii! An extra point from the tie with 31 seconds to go. And they've been here before this season. This is reminiscent of the game at Louisiana Tech when they rallied late to tie, force overtime, and won it by a point.
San Jose State's lining up, playing the quarterback sneak. Second time tonight that Colt Brennan has scored on the option play.
Well, they need the extra point from Kelly, who's been perfect this year in PATs, and that one is perfectly right down the middle. The dreams are still alive of an undefeated season of BCS bid. Sole possession of first place in the WAC. And perhaps Brennan's Heisman hopes on a night when they certainly seem to have taken a hit. Hard to say that when the guy's thrown for 525 yards.
Yeah, and Sean, again, I think, look, this guy's is a top-notch quarterback in college football. I know he gets knocked, but the one thing he is, yes, he's a warrior, he's a good pass, but he's got heart. He's got desire. He will not quit. His teammates follow that lead and follow his energy. They follow him right into the end zone to tie it up.
10 more attempts than in any other game of his career for Brennan. His 4th career 500-yard game. Over 12,000 career yards now. And the inability to sustain offense for San Jose State, a problem all year long, and again tonight. They had a 2-touchdown lead. Just couldn't do anything to take time off the clock.
And a costly turnover obviously hurt them, not only because it gave Hawaii the ball, they couldn't take the time as the clock, as you said, plus they gave Hawaii the short field to work with.
And how will they handle the kickoff here? There's been some good kickoff returns. Where San Jose's field goal kicking situation is shaky. Should they attempt to try to get in position for a game-winning field goal at the gun? Kelly squibs it. David Marrero, the transfer from Stanford, brought it back. And it is decent field position at the 38. Dick Toney saying we have 2 timeouts. That would seem to indicate that he wants Marcus Arroyo on the offense here to take a shot at getting at least in the field goal range with a chance to win it.
I think you go ahead and try to take your shots here at home. They've been successful throwing the ball down the field. Obviously, Hawaii knows that, but the middle of the field is still in play with 2 timeouts left.
Adam Tafralis, veteran quarterback. One of the most important spots of his career right here. Under a half minute to go. Given plenty of time by the young line. Dumps it off for French. Nice gain to the 50 and then alertly out of bounds, saving both timeouts. 19 seconds to go officially. There's Will Johnson. Just taking over the starting place kicker position from Jared Strubeck. Strubeck was second team all-conference last year, but has missed 6 in a row. We asked Dick Toney yesterday if it came down to a long kick you needed to win the game, would you go back to Strubeck? The veteran said, nope, we'll go with Will Johnson. He's earned the job. He does have a strong leg. Last year his long in junior college was 42 yards at Bakersfield College. And that flutter ball hits the deck in front of French. 15 seconds to go. Earl Noah was putting pressure on Tafralis.
You know, it's almost a benefit for the Spartans that that ball was incomplete, because French would have been tackled or he would have tried to run and chewed up valuable time off the clock. And when you get down to 15 seconds, there's a big difference between 15 and 10. Not only in the clock, but the play that you can call.
Will Johnson hoping for a chance. And realistically, they need at least 15 more yards. The rain has stopped, but the field is still soggy. It's not great conditions for a kicker. Boy, French is wide open in the flat. They throw it over his head and incomplete. French saying, why didn't you throw it to me? He had all kinds of running room. Instead, they threw it at Richmond, who was covered by Myron Newberry.
Yeah, one of the reasons why this ball is high, and Richmond can go up with the best of them and get them, but look at the footwork. Starting to, yeah, I see he can't get his feet set, and he's trying to get him set and turned and thrown. Actually does a pretty good job under the conditions. Richmond is capable of making that catch. That would have been a big-time play.
3rd down and 10. 10 seconds to go. San Jose State still has the 2 timeouts. And 1 timeout left for Hawaii. Tafralis, flag down where you'd expect a holding call. Tafralis down at the 36-yard line. Comes up calling for a timeout. But this one's likely to come back. Has there been a holding call all night? And they're going to call it on that play.
Holding, number 79, offense, 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Ronnie Castillo, the center.
Yeah, the only guy who started every game on the offensive line for them this year. 5 at center, 2 at guard. Well, that's a tackle.
Legitimate call. I mean, you got to be a little bit discreet about it if you're going to tackle the defensive lineman.
But you know, they talk about you can call holding on every play. We've had a zillion passes here tonight. San Jose State's attempted 46 passes. Of course, that turned out to be a run. And Brennan, a school record 71, breaking Timmy Chang's record of 70 against Rice in 2030. Well, time for one more play, so San Jose State has called a timeout. The ball on their own 40. Chance for a Hail Mary if they want to try it. And they better be careful as well.
With the footing, I take a knee, and I go right now and play for overtime. Just at Ronnie Castillo's defense, he's getting beat right there. The one thing you want to do is protect your quarterback and protect the football. I don't blame him, even though I blame him for getting beat if I'm a coach, but I don't blame him for protecting his quarterback and protecting the football more importantly.
And if it does go to overtime, huge advantage Hawaii. Momentum, the better offense, the better kicker.
That's why San Jose State, again, they had a chance to close them out, Sean. Offensively, they sputtered, and Hawaii is what their nickname says they are. They are Warriors, and they're playing for a lot. I know San Jose State is playing for a lot. Hawaii is playing for school history, state history, Polynesian history.
Trying to go to 7-0 for the first time since 1981. Trying to extend their school record. 10-game winning streak in the WAC to 11. And it looks like the Spartans will follow Chris Spielman's advice and take an 8. And with the way Trefalis has been slipping around all over the place, there's probably a greater likelihood of a disaster than there is a miraculous 60-yard touchdown pass to win the game. Dick Comey's been around long enough to know that. So we are heading for overtime. End of regulation. Hawaii and San Jose State tied at 35.
The game is on the line. The pressure's on. Here's the situation. You've got 2 children. College tuition is in sight. Retirement is breathing down your neck.
Who do you go to in the clutch? Over 65 million customers rely on us when their money is on the line. Insurance, investment.
Overtime for the first time this year for San Jose State. And Dick Tomey for the second time already this year for Hawaii. The only closely contested game was at Louisiana Tech, game 2 of the year, September 8th in Ruston. And Hawaii won its 4th overtime game all time against Louisiana Tech when Derek Dooley, the new coach of Louisiana Tech, elected to go for 2-point conversion after his team scored in overtime. Hawaii had scored and kicked the extra point. And then when Louisiana Tech scored, they went for 2 and their pass failed. Of course, there will be the coin toss. Go over the choices. Each team guaranteed of 1 possession at least, starting at the opponent's 25-yard line. In essence, it's red zone football. No game clock. There is the play clock. And here we go.
You know, I would think if I'm San Jose State, you might think about doing what Louisiana Tech did and go for 2 if you have a good 2-point play. Why? Because your offense has been hot and cold all night. Cold as recently. Hawaii's offense got some has the momentum. They're going to be tough to stop. If you score, you might think about going for 2.
I mean, that was Derek Dooley's thought. His team was the underdog. They played valiantly all night on a really hot night down in Louisiana. You got a shot to beat a heavily favored team, you take it. He took it. It didn't work out. June Jones said after the game he really admired what Derek Dooley did with his team playing for the win.
You might see it here again tonight. Young coordinator Marcus Arroyo and Steve Morton, co-coordinators, he's really done a nice job though for a struggling offense. Injuries, they're able to put 35 points up on the 27th ranked defense in the country. It's a good job of coaching and within the game plan that they had coming in.
They found a little rhythm here in the second half, and they were able to hit a couple of vertical passes. Captain's coming out toward midfield now, and we'll have the toss of the coin. Generally, when a team wins the toss, they elect to play defense first. That way you know what the other team has done with its possession. You know what you have to do when you get the ball.
This is the tail. I'm going to ask you to call it. We're going to let it hit the ground, okay? What did he call? He called heads. Here we go. What is it? It is tails.
You want to play defense first.
Which end of the field do you want to play on?
That one.
All right, gentlemen.
Go that way.
You want to play defense? Put your backs to that. Go.
Well, the toss was won by San Jose State. They elected to go defense first. Colt Brennan will try to keep momentum going right away for Hawaii. Elected to go in the direction they just scored the last 2 touchdowns of the game. Hawaii, if you joined us late, led 14-0 early on. Led 14-7 at the half, but San Jose State outscored them 21-7 in the 3rd quarter. The Spartans had a 2-touchdown lead in the 4th quarter. But then Hawaii scored the last 2 touchdowns of the game. A costly fumble midfield by San Jose State set up the opportunity for the game-tying score. Sports Center coming up right after we're finished here in San Jose, California.
Well, again, I think Hawaii, they do have the momentum going. And we'll see, it'll be interesting to see how June calls this down here. Devon Best has been big in the red area. The running game has been a factor in the red area via shovel pass or draw play. I don't think he takes a shot. I see if he gets the ball in the hands of his receivers who are great with run after catch and see if they can make something happen.
Colt Brennan, 41 out of 71, a school record for attempts in a game, 525 yards, 3 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. In trouble on play 1. These linemen have to be exhausted running around after him all night long, and Brennan throws it away but avoids a big loss. Can you play yourself out of Heisman contention and then back into it all in the same game?
I think
might have been what Brennan's done here in the second half.
You know, his numbers, yes, are a part of the offense, Sean, but he also can throw the football, and his warrior mentality to bring this team back, just never say die, and just to watch his team respond to his leadership and guys making plays for each other, I absolutely think you can play yourself back into contention on the same night.
They're tired of chasing. He's going to be a little wiped out, trying to set his feet all night on this sloppy turf. Short of a first down by a couple of yards. The catch by Ryan Grice-Mullens. Christopher Owens had the coverage. And Kelly getting ready just in case. But no, they want a touchdown, not the field goal.
Third and 2, normally a man-to-man defense situation to prevent the first down. But do you trust your guys enough to match up with the athletes on the perimeter for the Warriors?
Third and 2, big play here, movement, and now flags and whistles. Looked like Jerron Gilbert moved. Or was he drawn across? Officials conferring on that subject.
San Jose just did that. They played that tight man-to-man defense.
Offsides, defense, number 93, 5-yard penalty. The penalty results in a first down.
Justin Cole, the guilty player. Well, the penalties on defense have really killed San Jose State here late in the game, too. They had those 2 personal foul plays on the Hawaii fourth-quarter touchdown drive. And now an offside that gives Hawaii a first down at the 13-yard line. First possession of overtime. 3 receivers to Brennan's left. He throws in that direction to Devon Bess. And a nice tackle in the open field by Christopher Owens. With a gain down to the 8-yard line of 5.
Yeah, he's been stout all night. And again, Lowry's a good player, a real good player, but Christopher Owens, to me, is just as good as Lowry. Really good open field tackler, plays man-to-man well, battles.
12 catches, 142 yards and a touchdown for Bess. 14 catches, 175 yards and a touchdown for Grice-Mullens. 11 catches, 129 yards receiving for Jason Rivers. And Hawthorne is 66 yards receiving and a touchdown. And Rivers adds to his total with his 12th catch of the night. 8-yard touchdown.
This is the fade stop. Beating Newsom. Rivers is virtually unable to. Newsom has no shot when it's executed like that. The corner's on top. You throw to the back shoulder. Rivers times it up, turns late to the ball.
Threw it away from both Lowry and Owens. The top 2 corners. Extra point good by Kelly. So Hawaii has the lead. And can this San Jose State offense, which really has played well only in spurts and kind of brief spurts. They did very little in the first half. Had 105 yards of the break. Had that one little spell in the third quarter. If you join us late, the defense scored a touchdown. The special teams have scored a touchdown. They need the offense to score a touchdown and get the extra point to force a second overtime.
And where they've been successful is when they took their shots downfield. Don't be surprised if they get the ball on the 25-yard line. They have room to work and take a shot downfield, especially with Richmond Adrevic.
Plenty of Warrior fans here making a lot of noise. Adam Tafralis. 27 out of 46 for 302 yards. His fourth straight game of 300 yards passing. In trouble and sacked for a 4-yard loss. Third sack of the night for Hawaii. Falela'eli made the sack. And that was a coverage sack because Tafralis had plenty of time.
Yeah, he did have plenty of time. You almost want to think about running it right there. Eli just keeps pushing on the power rush, doesn't quit. You see that jersey's white. That's the benefit that Hawaii's had all night, is keeping fresh bodies in there.
Back to an empty backfield for San Jose State. 5 receivers. Tafralis toward the end zone, and it is intercepted. Ball game over. Myron Newberry seals the dramatic come-from-behind win for Hawaii. And the dreams are all still alive for the Warriors.
They're trying to throw the jump ball to the basketball player. Richmond Newberry had none of it. Goes up in determination and fight. Comes away with the game-sealing interception. Playing the ball, beating Richmond with his hands.
What a win for Hawaii. Second overtime win. And sometimes when you're on your way to a special season, you have to dodge bullets like the ones they've dodged so far this year. Let's get down to the field. Here's Rob Stone.
Colt down 14 with under 4 minutes to go. What was the mindset?
You know, we were here a little bit early. We got to go.
Where are you going? We got a good interview going here. Plays under review. That's all right. Let's keep talking like it's not under review. What was the mindset? Under 4 left.
Basically believe. I mean, we got an unbelievable football team, and you know we got stuck in a tough situation today. We weren't playing our best football, and they came out ready to play, but we believed, and we know it's 4 quarters, and we just kept saying, look how much time's on the clock. We knew we could come back.
All right, we're gonna go get that review. We may try and hunt you down later. Cool. Thanks, Colt.
Well, they just want to make sure it was an interception by Newberry before they can officially determine the game over. The officials have been very careful on the scoring plays tonight, and they seem to have gotten everything right. I don't think there was any doubt this was an interception. Newberry's got his arm underneath that ball all the way. No way you could turn that one over. Did you not agree, partner?
Yeah, I think it's a great play by Newberry, making a play on the football. And Tafralis, if he wanted to give Richmond a shot, you got to be long and you're never wrong. Threw it a little bit short. Newberry making a tough catch. And here comes the verdict.
Unfortunately for the referee, most of the reviews have come from the other end of the field. He's got a lot of mileage.
After review, the call on the field is confirmed. Interception. The game is over.
Stunned look on the face of Adam Tafralis. Certainly they had to be feeling it on the sideline, on the verge of a win over a ranked team for the first time since 2000, and it slips away from Dick Tomey and the Spartans in overtime. They blow a late fourth quarter 14-point lead. Give credit to Colt Brennan and his team for what they did to make it happen. But certainly the Spartans will look at the bad penalties when they were on defense, 2 personal fouls, and the big fumble that gave the ball back to Hawaii to set up the tying score. Once again, here's Rob.
We're with June Jones right now. And, Coach, when did this game turn back in your favor?
Well, you know, when we were down 35-21, I called the offense up and I said, guys, you know, there's no way that this team is better than us. And I said, you know, for us to come back and win it, I said, we've scored 21 points in 2.5 minutes. I said, this is a lot of game left. I said, it will do more for our team. And Colt, this is going to tell America what you're about. And that's exactly what happened.
What is Colt all about?
Well, Colt's he's a competitive winner. And you saw it tonight after throwing. You know, he kind of had some bad reads. He had bad footing. But when it counted, he put us in the end zone. He's just a great player.
What does this victory say about your program this year?
Well, you know, to win on the road under these conditions, I mean, if it had not been these conditions, I think we probably would have scored another 60 points or so. But that's the way the game is, and you got to overcome everything, all the adversity, and our kids have done it.
Coach, thanks for your time. Enjoy that flight home.
Thanks a lot.
I think he meant 60 total for the game. I don't think he meant they would have had 102 points, but maybe that's what he meant. He's a big thinker. Final score in overtime, Hawaii 42 and San Jose State 35. Colt Brennan throws for 545 yards out of 75 attempts and 4 touchdowns. Sports Center coming up next. We'll be over on ESPN News with a post-game extra. Where do you begin to wrap this one up? This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Chris and Rob, Sean McDonough, good night from San Jose, California.